Hello everyone, we're 2 minutes early, but this is City States of Klovisa, semicolon, dash, the God War. How are you all doing today?
Okay.
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 That's good to hear. Well, as always, let's go around the table real quick, and then one of us will be doing the recap. I'm sure they know who they are. Thatch, how are you doing? Played by Shadow.
Doing pretty good. Sitting here surviving in good old Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
COVID-19's running all over the place, but I haven't gotten it yet from Ohio.
I'm from Cleveland.
Oh shit.
Wow. Fucking new discoveries being made right
Hey.
now.
It's what
I
it
don't
is.
miss Ohio.
Helga, being played by Julia, is back from eel vacation in Nova Scotia. How are you doing?
I'm good. The eels are great. They send their love.
Every time I say eel, I just go back to Nintendo 64. Just fucking Mario World, or whatever the hell. Mario and 64. Fuck. That crazy-ass eel. It terrifies me to this day. Paradigm, played by Alden. You know my greatest fear. How are you doing?
I know your greatest fear.
Yeah. Eels.
Huh. Oh. I don't have cancer, so I'm good.
Hey.
Maybe? I don't know. They don't know exactly.
Good shit. Ravik being played by Brood. How are you, brother?
His name is Sever now. We're
Sever.
remodeling. Let me change that.
Hang on. Yeah, we need
I
to...
can't change my
Wait.
name right now.
Here we go.
Next game I'll change it.
Transform. Flip horizontally. Brib. Sever.
There we go.
Corley being played by JC. Oh my god.
Doing good. Any week I don't have to make a new character is a good week.
There we go. Perfect. Alright, Julia, let's hear this recap. We know it's you.
Yep, sure. Not gonna be as good as last week's recap. That was really good.
I'm
It really
sorry.
was.
I did watch it. I have bad memory though, so I am going to read the action report.
Action report's not that accurate.
Not my problem.
It's just a personal
Alright,
hit
so-
piece.
Nice.
Yep.
So, there was a fight. Weird shadow monster came out of the portal in the VIP room that everyone was in. As per usual, non-magical weapons didn't help, so Thatch and Coraline did not do much. But also, Ozark did not help much.
He
To
helped plenty.
My personal surprise, I thought he'd be better.
Didn't we all?
Helga rolled better than I have ever seen her ever. So I am assuming that I am bad luck here. Yeah, the shadow thing screamed a lot. People got scared. Yep, it was a good fight. And then partway through, Revik woke up to what? Sever? Changed his name. Looks different, and he's shot some magical arrows at the shadow thing. Shadow thing died. Good job, everyone. Then the bodyguard who was out in the hallway was not having a good time, and everyone had to fight that for a second. Brought the bodyguard down. Coraline stabbed him, or her, and then Ozark was mad about the stabbing. And basically what made her brain dead.
Yep.
Feeble-minded.
Yep. And then
A potato's intelligence.
there was some there was some chatting. Coraline got to like a medical ward or something and fixed. Everybody went home, had a sleep, and they came day, but nobody was there because it was Valentine's Day, but fantasy Valentine's Day. Had a chat about what to do next, and didn't fully decide really, but got some options, and I guess that's what we're doing one of those options today. There was
straight
going
into.
to lots of places.
Let's go into game real quick. I don't know if we've rolled back the clock or not, but I'm gonna say it's still the 1st. It is Saturday, May 2021. Summer swirling of the year 80. 80C on the Confederation calendar. You have all gathered once more. Helga teleporting into the room, having stayed the night with her family to make sure Henry woke up after his intense alcoholism experience, I suppose.
Tell us how your parents reacted to that. Bringing home your drunken little brother.
Well, I think he got back before I did, so I don't know.
Helga got me drunk.
Actually,
You gotta believe me.
no, you're right. Henry got, like, kidnapped by a sorority. John's gonna roll some dice here.
Is he even home?
He might not have shown up
God.
last night.
How old is Henry
Helga,
again?
where's Henry?
Henry's 13.
Henry's like 13.
And he just hung out with a bunch of college girls for an entire night after
If
getting
he was
drunk.
16, it'd be his best night ever.
After seeing the president on ice.
But he didn't because he was passed out the whole time.
You know, look, he's gonna have some crazy stories to tell people when he gets to school next week. And he shows up when you wake up, Helga. And he's wearing a new party hat. We're rolling back the clock.
Well,
I said
I
we
mean-
wouldn't, but we're doing it. There he is. Henry's knocking on the door, wanting to be let in.
I guess thank God he's not dead.
Mom, let me in!
I
tired.
let him in.
Oh, hey, Helga.
Where were you? Where did you go?
Oh, I don't know. I just kind of woke up in a hotel. It's pretty weird.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you might have died last night.
Yeah, same here. And he just walks past you and goes to his room.
Well, good night. Have a good sleep.
Yep, I'll see you tomorrow at work. And he leaves.
Maybe. Wait. What? Wait. What? At work?
You have a meeting to get to, Helga, so you rush back to the Tyrant's Pillar of Authority and make it into the meeting room as Thatch, Anchois, Paradigm, Sever, and Coraline are looking at an Ozark simulacrum who looked to have just been laying down the law through 3 dossiers just onto the snack room's tables and left behind the hidden door beyond. You're there.
Alright. Thatch will pick up one of the dossiers and see what it says.
I pick up the one that has a briefcase picture on it.
You pick up the one that has a vintage cutout of the sewer gigolo with his arms extending out of a sewer grate towards this briefcase. Thatch, you can either choose this like lakeside, almost vignette cutout of well, a city. You can a singular building which represents a city on a lake. And then the last dossier is, of course, it just says Thorazor on it. Just the words. No cool cutout picture.
No pictures.
No, it's just a word. There's no fun in Thorazor.
No, there's not.
No picture books.
There's just a picture of an empty bag with a dollar sign on it because they're really cheap.
There's a picture of a there's a picture of a plate with like 1 crumb on it.
Oh my god.
Now that's just
I'll pick
bad.
up the one with the building that represents the city, which I
Indeed.
assume is I would hope to assume is the list of items in the reliquaries in the City of
Indeed.
Blinding Lights.
There is quite a bit of information there. Paradigm, you go through this thing, but it seems like your team has already decided what mission you guys are going to do during this past week.
The sewer gigolo and put it in my pocket
Okay.
for safekeeping.
Yeah. You.
Where is your pocket on your
This
Don't
document
worry about
says a lot, actually.
Prison pocket.
To the point where John feels kind of dumb for throwing
My heart.
Ozark out of the room. So, in this document, there are indeed magical item lists, but more importantly, there is a summary of like the situation and political situation that the city has been in for the past couple of years, as well as this new recent development. Because it used to be a great city. It still kind of is okay. No one really went there for political pursuits. It was mostly like, you show up, you live there, and you die there. There's not too many like hostile forces there. The city is guarded by a shit ton of paladins and paladin orders who like all play like little politics with themselves rather than like the greater world as a whole. They recently stepped in a city-state known as Sanctuary to like well, I suppose kind of lay down the Confederate law on them and bring them into the fold completely. But, you know, nothing really happens there. And now, they're being invaded left, right, and center, including from the lake, by elite rats and birds. Some familiar birds that bring horror to Anchois and Paradigm's eyes. Yeah.
Still not sure what a bird is.
True. What are birds, guys? Seriously. So, the biggest thing and where this opportunity for you guys to act as vultures and rob this city comes from is the civilian populace is leaving. So the paladins are extracting whatever remnants of wealth there are in the city. They're taking them back to their own centers, their own strongholds, where they plan to continue to wage this war against vermin, it seems. And this gives you the weird opportunity of potentially just going into religious centers, reliquaries, vaults, the same strongholds that they're bringing wealth into, and taking the cool shit that is clearly within. Ozark made a list of items that he could confirm through scrying and research and stuff like that, and things they've always just known about the city, but never had a reason to, like, you know, go across the continent and just take them, right? But now, there are indeed some cool shit, as well as undoubtedly many more things, such as wealth, items they don't know about, stuff like that. So that's the situation. There are 3 main, like, factions that are kind of listed as, like, political hegemons within the city. One is the Cult of Luminous Force. The second one is the Church of Lunar Light. And then there is supposedly a third called the Commune of the Viridian Glade. That third one is the biggest, like, asterisk and kind of a concern rather than, like, confirmed political party.
Sorry, John. It was the commune of
the Viridian Glade.
Thank you.
Red flag, red flag, red flag.
Why is it a red flag?
Don't worry about it.
Just because it's a
commune,
commune
they're gonna be poor.
doesn't mean it's a communist.
No, I remember things, John.
Guys, Stalin had a bunch of great loot on his body. Like legendaries. You gotta remember that when
Did
he
we
died.
kill Stalin?
No, but I'm stalling for
Okay.
time.
Not yet.
Okay. So, where do we want to start with first? Do we want an overview of each of these things, or what they got?
What they got, probably.
What they got?
What's the stuff?
What's the loot?
So,
For my note taking, can we get an overview and what they got at the same time, so I don't have to
Yeah.
keep jumping back and forth?
That's fine.
we'll do the overview first for note taking then. So, the Cult of Luminous Force, the COLF, as it were, the Koffel, as it, the Kolf, the Kolf and Cobble, City
It's
of
Kolf
Blinding
now.
Lights. They are the largest and most influential of the current religious factions. They've been around for maybe 80, 90, 100 plus years, somewhere around there.
Richest.
They are indeed the richest, both,
The old sheep.
well, in wealth, definitely. They do the most, like, civil services. You know, sometimes you just need, like, a more experienced and wise person to help you sort things out in your life. And they give that therapy as well as just broad-board counseling to most people within the city. They are the most militaristic as well. Out of all the other factions, they have the most paladins who work directly for them. They are run by a Grand Chancellor, who is kind of a mystery. They aren't, well, no one is quite certain who the leader is, and it's kind of like, oh, I may be the leader, but I'm sacrificing all material and reputational and personal gains by being this leader. And they hide in anonymity. Or anonymity. So, big red flag from there would have said Ozark on the written document. Since Ozark's no longer there. They are militaristically led by a paladin known as Gary, who is the highest known leveled vendetta paladin in the world, or in the known world. So he undoubtedly has some cool shit on him. The items that they are known to have and what the city you are currently working for wants. They have the lenses of the vampire hunter. They have...
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Go on.
They have a shard of Nanarian staff. And that is like bigly highlighted. They have a amulet of regenerative might. That one doesn't even have a item description. The others do. I'm just like holding off on item descriptions that Ozark knows them for. And they have other cool shit as well that John has misplaced. What?
Fancy dagger?
I don't know. Staff sounds
They
cool.
they wouldn't know like +1 weapons plus like Ozark's targeting like this is the cool shit that we want. They probably have a shit ton more of like lesser +1 armors, +1 swords, probably armed on their paladins or people they like want to keep in good graces. But those are like the big ones. The lenses of a vampire hunter are said to be able to see through any illusion or transmutive effect to see the true creature underneath like a shape-shifting spell, an illusory form, similar to true sight, but not nearly as assaulting of the senses. None of you have true sight yet, because that's like a 4th or 5th level spell. But, you know, it's not always easy looking into the fucking astral plane or whatever weird shit layering effect happens when you have true sight. This lets you just see through shapeshifters, which many of the foes you will be fighting are, including Jerome.
Some of our allies.
So we'll get to see Revik again, considering this is just an illusion he's cooked up.
Potentially. The Shard of Nanarian Staff is the biggest one out of all of them. This is a 4th of a legendary staff, which supposedly has a scion or a goddess's power within. Ozark knows of another fragment as well. It is currently in Cantelar somewhere. But they're not sure exactly where. He's been trying to find it, or the person who used to be in charge of the fragment, but that's, you know, once Cantelar blew up, a lot of people went missing. But it is supposedly within this cult as well. The amulet of regenerative might. No one is sure exactly what this does. Ozark knows they have it. It is likely probably just a strength buff as well as some sort of like self-healing ability. Just based off a name alone. But it, you know, the fact that they don't know what it is like a big, okay, this has to be good shit. And self-healing magical items are very rare. So that is like another bigly item. Are we good on the Cult of Luminous Force?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
Next
cult of incoming TPKs noted.
The Church of Lunar Light are known as moon-worshipping modernists. They are like the casual religious sect of the city.
Mythology.
They are the eldest in terms of the entire city's history. They more or less made and founded the City of Blinding Light. They are run by a council or a cabal, if you will, of local authority heads. So rather than like viewing this as like a true like, oh, we go to church, we have a religious sermon, it's more like a club for influential families. Aristocrats, knightly orders, lords of ancient bloodlines, stuff like that. They don't have a real leader. It's like a democratic, or maybe they have like a club president. No one's exactly sure, since no one in Tulsa is a member, or at least a admitted member of the Church of Lunar Light. Ba, 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 ba. Pretty influential, but like once these cultists showed up, they kind of like took a back foot because now they didn't have to do as much stuff, and then those guys kind of ran away with all the political power. What they are mostly known for is collecting arcane lore, arcane religious super good shit, and Ozark has these guys marked down as like primary, secondary, or primary objective number two, if you will. And I guess we'll just jump into their items real quick. So they have, not you. They have a 2-piece magical item known as the Guilt Hunter and the Wolf Sheath. Yeah. It is supposedly a very powerful magical longsword that, when united, has some cool shit. Ozark is really interested in this item, if nothing else for study. They also have the Breastplate of the Unknown Moon. We'll get to that next. The biggest bigly thing that Anchois and Paradigm will immediately set their sights on is the Tome of Ultimate Necromancy.
Yep.
Quote, How to Slay What Can't Be Killed by Necrodan.
Need it.
This is huge. This is a magical grimoire of the Lich of Undeath. Like, fuck. Ozark has been tracking this book down for a couple of centuries, because he is not at good terms with Necrodan, the Lich of Undeath. And he wants it. He wants to see what the fuck is written down on it, because it turns out, Ozark can't be killed, so how would you slay it, is a big concern for liches everywhere. The Guilt Hunter / Wolf Sheath is a 2-paired item, like I said. However, they both have magical effects even when separated. As such, they have been tracked down to be on 2 separate nobles within the city. So chances are you're going to have to like steal them directly from the houses or assassinate them. Which is probably the more likely option, seeing as how you guys operate normally.
Try to do it. It just happens.
The Wolf Sheath is on a Archer Lady Quillen Magneth, and the Guilt Hunter is on a Night Lord Aqueth.
Sorry, Archer Lady Aquith?
Quillen Magneth.
Quillen Magnet. And the other one?
Night Lord Aqueth. Aqueth.
Alright, but who has that book?
The book is said to be within the church itself, their main building, within a vault somewhere.
We get to desecrate a church. That's what I wanted to hear.
The breastplate is of curiosity more so than of, like, necessity. Magical breastplates are kind of rare, since it usually goes, like, a regular breastplate goes to a pseudoplate mail. So the fact that you would wear a breastplate alone means you can't wear plate mail normally. It may be part of another set, it may be part of something else, or it may just be a standalone piece. They're not sure, and that's kind of why they're interested in it, much like the amulet above. They don't know exactly what it does. Supposedly, no one is wearing it. So it's probably in a vault somewhere, too. Or within a member's personal, like, treasury. The book's definitely within a vault. Ozark was able to scry on the vault itself, but not, like, see within it. And finally is the Commune of the Viridian Glade. Strangely, with think the most lesser known. No, they have some stuff, but Okay, you guys ready for the commune of the Viridian Grove?
Can I just ask you a question about the Vendetta Paladin? Is that a Vengeance Paladin, or is Vendetta Paladin some sort of other organization?
That's a John thing, I'm sure.
It's like a Vengeance Plus. It's like a flavorful of a Vengeance Paladin. Being a Vengeance Paladin is incredibly difficult to maintain because hatred is hard to sustain yourself on.
The Tyrant does it.
Yeah. It's really hard.
Okay, thanks.
So, the commune of the Viridian Glade is a strange one and probably the most comical. This group, in quotations, is based around a singular creature who is said to be like wizard level of assholery. He is a clown, a jester, some dude who, whenever one of the other church members or other church factions starts to get big-headed, he shows up specifically to put them, like, in their place and put them down and knock them down a couple pegs. Like, he knocks people from high horses. It's just a very weird thing. And it's been kind of like a phenomenon going on throughout the city's entire history. At least for 90 to 100 years. This character is known as the Herald. We're not sure what he's heralding. Or at least Ozark isn't in the dossier, he admits. But he literally just goes around the town and, like, throws shit at other paladins, appears in public squares during debates and crashes them with nonsensical argumentation and declaring that he is everyone's uncle. It is super kind of, like, off-putting once he shows up and he's like, nephew, niece, you must stop combating each other. This is silly. And he just does trolley bullshit. What's super weird is that he has a, like, group that are made up of the citizenry just kind of as a meme. Like, people notice the guy, they're like, haha, that's the Herald. We're gonna go do some bullshit now and fuck with other members of our team. Or of our city, of our faction. He has, like, kind of a spy network within the factions itself, and it's all kind of impromptu. Like a flash mob of sorts. He is said to personally carry a shit ton of magical items on him. Someone casted Detect Magic on him one day. But the main items that he has are a lantern that he shines upon people that is supposedly able to determine alignment of creatures.
But alignment doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Anything crazier?
Apparently, it has a red light, a green light, and a white light that shines out. That the creature knows what these do. He tends to spit on the red-lighted people that he shines this on. He takes a shit in front of the people the green light shines in front of. And the white people, like the white light people, he ignores entirely. God, that sounds super weird. The white light people, yes. As though they are worth nothing to him. He also has a short sword called the Nail Biter, which he uses to... he draws the sword and then it extends into like a pair of like... like two swords. It's like a scissor thing. And he literally gives people haircuts with it. So no one is sure. They're not good haircuts. He just cuts people's hair when they're like not looking. So Ozark wants to know what that does. Like maybe it's something more than like it's hard to cut people's hair, and you're using a fucking sword, and you just like go up behind someone, snip, and then just run away. Like it's not like scissors, right? And then he has a pair of magical sandals that he throws at people and like gives to them. The soles seem to be made out of sandpaper, but they are magical. No one, well, they don't have a pair to like copy and like look at, but you know, it's another interesting thing. Like, why is he giving these people sandpaper sandals? Like, what's going on
Throw
here?
his shoes at us.
Yeah. He
So he
also,
just gives away these shoes?
yeah, he throws them at people. He like slaps them in the face, leaves them there, and they're magical apparently. And
They walk
he
back
only
to you.
seems to have like a singular pair. So like he'll show up, slap someone in the face with them, and then flee most of the time. He also
And the
carries.
sandals go back to him?
No one's sure. It's a big mystery. He has 2 more magical items. They don't know what they. Nobody knows what they do exactly. He has a bouquet of like black roses and a wrench. Yeah.
I want the rest.
That's awesome.
I want to meet this man so badly.
It's gonna be another Rodrigo, isn't it?
He already is my Rodrigo.
Coraline's just like looking in
He's-
horror at the fucking dossier.
This
Harley
man
never
is
met Rodrigo.
Helga's,
Enthralled.
this man is Helga's personal hero now.
You know we have to kill him.
No, we
No.
don't. We just have to go along with all of his pure chaos. And
He
buy them
seems like a
affiliations.
force of pure chaos, yes. That's it for the, like, bigly items. Ozark's pretty sure there's more, like, generic shit they're hiding within their vaults, as well as money, definitely, treasures, stuff like that are just worth a lot of wealth. But for the most part, like, these are the big items. And with all that being said, you may now... Well, take it away.
I think Thatch will finish reading through this all to everybody, and then kind of scratch his head a little bit and put the dossier down and be like, well, where do we want to direct our focus?
I think there's an obvious choice here, and we all know it.
Right.
Helga's
Sorry, playing my throat.
that necromancy book
This is
Oh.
necromancy.
We are not on the same
and the
page.
jester man. Look, I just want the book, and then we can go talk to the cool, the fucking chaos man.
I
I
thought
don't.
the amulet was the obvious choice.
The what?
Oh, shit.
If we go to more than one place, it'll take longer than a week. I'm pretty sure.
We just
Right.
split up the party.
Sure, that will.
Smile.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is that the best idea?
Always.
Antoine, of course, will favor the book, because it is a magical tome, of course. Why wouldn't you? There's one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is, this is definitely a limited opportunity mission, but more than just like so-and-so days before, you know, the paladins are done raiding the town. I mean, it's a huge town. Huge city-state, as it were. It's more along the fact that as soon as you target one group, the others will hear about it and strengthen their defenses. Now, that may affect your planning. John wanted to put that in this little Word document he wrote up, so that none of you will be surprised that when you hit up one place, the others will gain in difficulty or be impossible to strike. So if you plan to hit them all up in a reckless, charge of everyone's headquarters, be aware that dangers will definitely increase.
Well, in that case, we should hit the hardest target first.
Yeah, goddess.
Revolt
I
with
guess.
the tome, right?
So the people with the shard of whatever staff is probably going to be the most difficult. The tome would probably be second. The chaos man, we could probably just walk in there and ask him for stuff, and he'll just throw something at us.
And so we could just stab him for the rest of it.
No.
Why would you want to
I
kill
don't
him?
think.
He sounds
don't
like a
think
great
that
guy
we should
that
do that.
just disrupts all of their society. Isn't that like your thing? Especially for these god-worshipping paladins?
Ooh, that's true. What I was thinking actually was, if we could maybe get something from one of the other three factions and leave it where we hit first, and then we take something from there and leave it at the second
We
place.
just make them think they're stealing from each other? That's not a bad idea.
That would be
That's a great
ideal.
plan.
I thought maybe we could leave something from Maelstrom, since Maelstrom is such the asshole of the area. But this might be even better. Have them fighting each other.
But how would we get anything from Maelstrom?
Well, I think if I can get near somebody from one of the factions, I can probably lift something innocuous that they won't miss. A letter, a wallet, a patch of clothes with identification on it. And just leave it where we go and go, oops, tore off. And oh, look, a clue to
Get a
who took this
Maelstrom
stuff.
key card. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But where are we gonna get one?
No, I mean, in the City of Blinding Lights, find one of the factions,
Right.
use whatever we can get to plant it in the first target. Yeah. And depending on how it goes, maybe try a second and a third.
If we kill any paladins, we should check their bodies for magical weapons. It
Yes.
could be worth something.
Yes, but we should also keep you away from all the paladins. They know detect good and evil. I look you up and down. You're evil.
I feel
Let-
like if
Those
Sever
never
gets
know.
within 60 feet of a paladin and looks at him the wrong way, they might know exactly what he is.
On the other hand, he could go, "Ooga-la-ba-la-ga-la-ba," and all the paladins will run
Yeah,
after
that's
him while we
true.
go
we could
inside.
use you as a decoy. That'd be a good
I'm-
idea.
I'm
Lead them
sorry.
to the leeches, the birds,
Yeah.
and the rats.
Coraline, I'm sorry. I missed that. What was that again?
So oogla-boola-
You just want to see you do it again. Also, Coraline, you should be careful being around them too. We don't know what you're considered after God touched you.
You're right.
What? Wait.
Is there any way to check that before we go? Is there a
not
paladin here that we could?
Ozark appears, kicks the door open. Yes? I thought you were
Hey,
mad
wait.
at me.
No, of course not. Never.
Oh wait, no, that's the raiding team. They're always so mad. All the time.
They're a bunch of party poopers. But would you, if the paladins have detect good and evil, do you think Coraline would set that off? You know, after
What?
God touched her?
Why don't you go talk to our newest recruit?
Don't say it. I swear to God.
Just his massive grin comes on his face as Hell goes.
This better be
here
a
now?
joke. You did not get my brother to join the army. You're joking, right?
He stares at you.
You know where he is?
He's only.
Of course.
Can you
He
bring
was
him here?
sleeping. Didn't he go to
Oh,
sleep?
great.
Is that my house?
He should still be drunk. With how much he drank.
Maybe we're confused. Who are you referring to?
Her brother Henry.
Oh, then yes, we are on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, could you summon him here? Do your
No,
wizard
he-
bullshit?
Of course not. That'd be upset. He just went to bed.
This is
Oh, you
just
gotta go to your place first.
control?
I don't-
Or
On the way
I don't
to
want
your
to wake
shift.
him up. He's about to get his first hangover. You know, I don't want to bother him.
You've got to learn the hard way like the rest of us have. I snorted a line of cocaine.
Well, perhaps there's another paladin in the area. You know, one that perhaps wanted to challenge Thatch for breaking a bell or something.
I had heard about that. Do you know anything about that, Ozark?
A paladin?
Yeah.
Why
Somebody,
to
I
fight
hear
you?
through the grapevine, one of the security force members says that somebody on the raid team wants to challenge me to a contest of arm wrestling.
Ah, we don't worry about that.
Hmm. Well, if he asks you about it, tell him I accept.
Okay.
All right.
I will be sure to not do that.
Yes.
He's not going to do that.
Is just Meza still here, or has she already gone to Destry?
She is not going to be here on the 1st.
Dang it.
She is doing stuff today. But she is not going to Destry either.
Okay. Well, she is a paladin.
No, she's
Meza?
not.
Well,
She's a wizard.
now.
She's
Wait,
a
didn't she?
sorcerer, I thought.
Why
No,
does she
she's a
have
wizard. Mori was a sorcerer.
Who knows what Meza is, Ozark
She's
says.
vanishing, striking the guy. Okay, whatever.
We're wasting time. We could be stealing things right now.
It's
Okay.
true.
Well, we
Before we
have to get some supplies first, so maybe we can wait till after to bother your party.
Yes, maybe 7 days exactly, while you all take a moment to reconsider your experiences. Ozark says,
Do we have time? Is this not time sensitive?
what isn't time sensitive within this world?
I think we accept our experiences and just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Besides,
Yeah,
aren't
we'll
you
find a
all on a
hummingbird
current breakthrough? That fight must have been pretty draining of somebody's healing magics. Or perhaps someone has figured out a new way to fight ghosts. He says, eyeing Thatch and Coraline and Helga, who are all notoriously not level 6, but can set their experience to 1400. Or 14,000, excuse me.
Man,
Oh,
that
it's
got-
been done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been done.
that stopped being quite quick.
Did you guys roll your HP already?
No, we haven't leveled up.
Then,
We weren't sure we were taking a long rest.
yes, you shall.
Okay, then we are.
Besides, we have downtime activities that we should probably do, since we may not come back to Tulst for several weeks. Just due to the fact that I'm going to be off next week, as well as, you know, who knows what's going to happen down in the south. So,
All right.
you have decided on your tasks, he says, and Mage hands the 2 other dossiers away. I
Does he
will...
notice that the weird CG lost photos picture of the gigolo's gone?
It was never there to begin with, Paradigm.
I checked my pocket.
It's not there. It was the dossier's cover. You just
Paradigm
misunderstood
cries.
what I said. Nice.
Oh.
Just what a frontline fighter wants.
as
Mere
y-
minimum hit points.
Hey, that's technically 4 hit points right there. There we go. Helga rolling hot. Oh my god. Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Maximum hit points. Holy shit. This is why we roll them, guys.
Good for the tank.
You guys, as you level up, must, of course, give me a justification or some sort of thing you do outside of I train without break. I want a little bit more concreteness. You can decide how you want to do that. And when you're ready, go ahead and just tell me while we start another week of long rest. It is the 1st, so of course, 7 days later, it will be the 8th, where your PLRC is done. That stands for Political Long Rest Complete in John tongue. So, Paradigm, Sever, and Anchwa are already level 6. So they can just do downtime shit if they want. And Sever, on the night tonight of the 1st, something will happen to you. But before we get to that, does anyone want to justify their 7 days of training? Or new interpretations of all they've experienced so far?
I'm ready to do so.
Thatch, what you got for us?
I think Thatch will
Let's
realize
go
that
to your
he
theme song.
needs to do a little bit more training, and so he's gonna go find members of the Toll Security Force, and he's gonna look for soldiers who are willing to do some training with him.
Can we get
If
more
that's
than you fight people?
Oh yeah, I've got a good description, but I want to find 3 people if possible who are willing to do it, and I will offer to pay them 5 toll bucks a day for
Oh
this training
shit.
if possible.
Well then, do you even have that much money?
I have 60 total sparks. 60 total sparks, so I can do like 3 to 4 days of training on. Because I just got paid.
Murder, no, not Sergeant Slaughter, Sergeant Murderface will give the clearance for 3 reservists to rear their ugly heads as they too are close to level 6. They show up. They're there.
Sounds good. I will ask them to arm themselves with spears. And I will arm myself with nothing. I will line them up in front of me and I will say, gentlemen, it is your job to make sure that I do not get past you.
Oh, okay.
Try not to kill me, but don't hold anything back. And then I will spend whatever time I can, until I don't go down, trying to shove and push and knock and move them around while trying to deflect as many blows as I can with my armor and train against piercing weapons.
I see.
And at the end of the day, I will go home and rest and then return, and the next day I will arm them with swords and ask for the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And then the third day, I will arm them with maces or clubs and tell them to try to beat the shit out of me as I try to knock them around and do the best I can to assist with the training if possible, as I'm an expert in bludgeoning weapons. And my hope is that by the end of this training period, that I will be adept at using my armor and shield and body to deflect blows as I can't deal them. All I can do is focus on defense. And I'm trying to train for the heavy armor master feat.
I see. Okay. This will definitely go as planned. Level 5s already have extra attack. They're going to beat the hell out of you over the course of
I'm
this
sure
day.
they will.
And it will be... If anyone has seen the movie Kung Pao, please go YouTube... Kung Pao training session where the chosen one gets beat the hell out of. At one point he dies just getting kicked with the post. Oh my god. Thatch, you take a beating, you get a bruising, you get stabbed a couple of times on accident, but it's fine. The reservists, all from their own ways of life, will help make you suffer to the best of your ability. And you will hit level 6 and apparently really toughen up. Rolling 10 on your hit point? Oh my god.
At the end of the training session, I will thank the 3 of them, and I will give them the bonus of 5 extra tool spucks to round out the 60 that I have, paying 20 to each. And I will ask them a few questions about the Tyrant's bodyguard and what they know about her.
Ooh, okay.
After spending 3 days training with them, I feel at this point we've developed a rapport. Well, they're at least maybe taught to talk with me and share more information.
You spend like 8 hours a day with these guys for 3 or 4 days. You're paying them. You probably don't even need to pay them. They would have done this on their own. And it's like, yeah, we're working on our own, experience that Sergeant Slaughter is literally jumping one person over and over and over again. So this works out perfectly. They're all martial types, so let's see how well they know or have been paying attention these past 7 or 8 months. One guy rolls a natural 1, the other rolls a natural 7, and the other rolls a 9. You ask them about the bodyguard, and they think for a moment. One of them's just like, wait, Tyrant has a bodyguard? It's just like completely confused. I take my
shield and just backhand the shit out of him. And
he falls. The other 2 like dodge out of the way, let the guy fall to his face. And they kind of like look at each other. And one of them says, now that you mention it, it is kind of weird that he does have one at all, right? And the other dude's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. Like, didn't he like destroy an entire army of spirit beasts on his own while flying around? Like, that was on video. Back when Cancelar was like blowing the fuck up. That's one of the reasons why I came here. I wanted to learn how to do that. So like, does he even need a bodyguard?
What mystifies me about her is she seems always in step. As in, the moment that you move anywhere near her, her eyes are on you as if she wishes to kill you at all times.
Yeah.
And I wonder what causes her to be that way. Is it
I'm not-
magical? Is it her choice? Is it something in her devotion to the tyrant? Is it a bond that she has with the tyrant?
I'm not sure, dude, but huh. And
don't
you
know.
kind of
I
like
saw-
perplex them with this insight, and maybe more people will begin to question this relationship as well.
It scares me. I saw her the other day. I saw her fight, and it was impressive, her level of devotion, and scary as well. And I kind of want to know what it's about. Tell you what, if you
your
guys
new 3 friends. Oh yes, continue.
if you
please.
guys hear anything about it, or if you figure anything out, or if you hear anything from anybody, go ahead and you let me know. I'll make sure I stop by here next time I'm in Tulsa.
The guy on the ground gives you a non-committal thumbs up or thumbs down. You're not sure which.
Yeah, I offer my hand to help him up and say, hey, keep an eye on your surroundings. Pay better attention next time.
Oh, okay. You
And
sound
I
like
pat him
my
on the back.
you sound like my sergeant. Helga or Coraline, do you guys want to justify your level ups?
You ready to go, Julia, or I can go if you'd rather?
You can go first.
Okay, first day off. Coraline's gonna stalk Smitty and see if she can find out where he lives and where he is right now.
Give me an investigation check. Are you going into rogue or barbarian this level? I
Rogue.
assume rogue. Okay, cool. Let's get different.
Oh, fucking. And the rolls start coming.
Coraline, you track Schmitty to a bar. You literally just follow him out of work, and he goes to a old-timey, old-timey as in, like, 1920s America level bar. Closed door, like, speakeasy isolate where a guy checks and lets this dude in. And he walks in swinging like a pocket watch, one of those old watches on a chain, after work one day.
Coraline will try to go in.
The isolate opens up, and then it closes as you say nothing.
Can I see if shadows around me?
Yeah, give a perception check.
Okay.
You don't
16.
see one. Nothing's in your periphery if you're looking for good old shade.
Okay. Yeah, shade. Sorry. If she doesn't see shade, she's gonna leave it be. But on a day where she does see that shade is maybe keeping an eye on her, like that Ozark mentioned, she'll go up to Schmitty. This is the Schmitty from the maintenance incident, right?
Yeah,
That's the one I meant. Okay.
of course. I know there are many. I know which one everybody hates. Okay, there's only one Schmitty everybody hates.
This is
Okay. So if there's a day where she notices that Shade is keeping an eye on her, then she's going to go to Schmitty on that, like as soon as she realizes it, trying not to show that she realizes that Shade is there, and try to slip something into his pocket belt pouch. It's a note.
I'm going to tell you outright, you do not have a passive perception to ever notice when Shade is watching you.
Fair enough.
Yell his name out.
Okay. I don't want him to know that I'm hoping he's there. All right. Then, in that case, if there's ever a time when an Ozark simulacrum might be within earshot,
Ooh,
when
okay.
she sees Schmitty,
There you go.
she's going to pretend she didn't see Ozark, but go up to Schmitty and apologize for blaming him for the mishap.
Yeah, so you go to the air bay, or, the vehicle bay, where minor maintenance to some of the land vehicles are being, messed with and being dealt. And an Ozark simulacrum will be on like the other side of the hallway, and you're like, okay, now's my time. You go up to Schmitty. Schmitty hears someone sneaking up behind him, immediately turns around, pulls a gun, looks at you. Oh, you're not part of the raid team. Ooh. And he just like holsters his weapon.
No, you lent us a small shuttle flitter, whatever, airship.
Oh, yes, I got in touch with that civilian insurance company. They have seemingly disappeared the debt. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, all right. I just want to say, I've been blaming you for that cash.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I want to apologize for that.
What?
It was...
He seems in a face of disbelief.
Yeah, good.
You're forgiving me?
Forgiving you? Was the maintenance really bad?
No, but
I
someone's
saw-
doing something nice to me? Oh!
No, I've been bad-mouthing you and to everyone that would listen, and
He nods
I
understandably.
feel really bad, and I just like to apologize and say, your craft was awesome. It's just and she'll
No.
start. A little tear will start coming down.
Oh, man. Give me a fucking performance check right now, Coraline.
Can it be deception? Because I'm
I was about to
blind.
say, is it deception?
No, this is purely performance. There's no, like,
Okay.
fake crying is performative.
Yes.
Oh my god. He is moved as you begin to. He's like, why are you crying? You shouldn't be. This isn't a big deal. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. It's just I want to fly an airship so bad, and I didn't know anything, and I just want
He
to
starts
fly.
tearing up with you. He gives you a handkerchief that's slightly like he uses for like his sweat, basically.
It's naughty.
Yeah, she'll hide her disgust and like dab a little
Here,
bit. in the
please
dryer.
stop crying. You do so.
And maybe chat with him a little bit just to kind of buddy up to him, and and then that'll be that.
He will insight you to see if you're into
sure.
him. Rolling a natural 16, he comes quickly to understand. Okay, this is purely like an emotional issue that is not
She's
my
in
deal.
love with me.
No, that'd be like a 10 under.
Yeah. Well, actually, maybe another time that will be something
There
I lie
you go.
about. But
There
you
you
got to
go.
get him alone somehow.
Coraline just kisses him.
Yeah. So after that performance, this will be probably later in the week when she hasn't seen Shade around and used the Ozark as a last resort. But earlier in the week, to kind of get herself up to speed, she's going to practice trying to slip stuff into random strangers' pockets. Not taking any, because she knows she made the oath not to commit crimes in Tulsa. Just because she's going to slip like bottle caps or paper clips, that kind of stuff. Stuff
Okay.
that's harmless, not worth much. Just to kind of practice, knowing she's probably going to have to do this to some of the targets in the city blinding lights. She'll also try to find if there are any hunters that tend to not show up at the Tyrant's Court, as if they're not involved with the people there, or if they're on the outs, that kind of thing. Especially the old. Yeah.
Yeah, so how would you tell someone's a hunter or not, apart from just a regular person on the street?
Is there a hunter bar?
No.
Like a police bar?
No, there's
I
not.
don't know. A lot of those hunters have very fucking ostentatious bullshit surrounding them, i.e. Tristan and Dirk daggers.
They're often also normally not involved with the city at all.
Okay.
They're just headquartered here.
What you do notice that once you start like actually poking your head into like hunter business, they are extremely isolationist, and the most social you will find are the 15 through like 17-year-olds in the court itself who are being trained by Ozark because it's his obligation to train these guys, or he will face some sort of consequence.
Okay. So these
Like
are like
adult
apprentice
hunt-
hunters?
Yeah, they're like trainees, or more likely is it that they have gone through the isolationist period of growing up. Now it's time for someone else to deal with them when they socialize and then punish them who aren't their family. And through that, like, 2 to 3 year training school of literally, like, this is how you interact in a society, kids. And, like, building that up so that once they graduate, once they go out, because they're already proficient killers, they're all level 11 plus, they'll just go and die alone somewhere after, you know, integrating with
these
society.
hunters,
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry. Are they, like, hereditary? Like, is it, like, father to
family
son, mother to
Yeah.
daughter kind of thing?
That's usually the case. It goes
perfect.
down like the bloodline.
That's perfect. Then Coraline will try to get chummy with some of these hunter kids. Just act like a total fangirl.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, I'm so impressed.
Are you so-and-so's kid?
Were you part of the assault on Tolst, or were any of you at Cantelar hoping to hear stories of their parents or whoever? No, she's actually looking for any information on the conflict between the Tyrant and Ozark when he took over.
Oh.
And
okay.
Also the first appearance of the Tyrant himself. So
you will...
this can just be like preliminary,
Oh my God.
chumming around.
You
John
guys
didn't
are...
expect an actual thing.
No, John has to check... Okay, so the third year... Brood's just falling asleep. He's just like, when can I get to Arabelle? Come on, I need to talk with my mom!
When can I drink my party's blood?
Coraline, 2 years have gone by since the Tyrant has made his debut. So the third years, the people who are about to graduate get out of Ozark's thing and go do their own hunter lifestyles until they die. You can start to speak with them, these 17, 18-year-olds who you butter up.
And Coraline's an 18 hotness.
She is an 18 hotness.
She will shamelessly use that if necessary.
Give me a charisma
bar.
check of some kind. And then
all
describe
right.
to me based off what you do.
She doesn't really have much interest in these people themselves, so deception?
Yeah.
She's
You
trying
try
use
to deceive and... 1! 16! 21! 8!
That's a natural one.
You kind of come off as creepy. You're kind of significantly older than most of these kids who are like super like non-socialized at all, and they're like, yeah, I'm really good at killing shit, but how do I talk to people? So when you show up to these people and try to deceive them with your flattery and your looks, you find that they're just way too socially awkward to like get the message across.
Okay.
Gotta act like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Channeling inner emo kid from high school. So
There we go.
Can I like, I don't know, talk to you?
You go and get fucking Paradigm to do this for you.
I guess I'll take my L and maybe try again another time.
Okay.
So I was trying to use that a little bit as practice for, if we have to do any sort of impersonation for the mission as well. And in one of the final days, if Coraline hears about that training, she's going to join him after he's done with
stab him in the back. Just
No. She'll offer to just try to help him practice, and Coraline will try to practice to dodge uncannily what Patch throws at her, and
okay.
and a sneaky 50% more sneak damage when she
There
stabs
you
him.
go. You can do this. This was great. You practice putting things in people's pockets. You make amends with a man who you were gaslighting into believing that he was actually at fault. It was getting to him a little bit, but now that you got that off your chest, he feels much better too. And you're just, the kids now understand that you're being super weird about them, and it's super weird.
What's that meme with the wide-eyed obsessive girlfriend?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
Or some shit.
the creepy person.
The one
Helga.
that's like,
Helga, you are going another into Warlock, yeah?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Level 6 Warlock? Is that big? Is that big stuff, or what comes from
not
that?
really.
Oh. Really?
I get what's it called? Radiant Soul, which means that I can add stuff to anything that has radiant damage.
Ooh, neat. Alright.
Radiance
What you got for us, Helga?
Okay. My downtime is not quite so elaborate as everyone else's because I could not think of anything.
Oh
so
no!
Helga is trying to come to terms with the fact that her brother has joined the task force, and she thinks the best way for her to feel okay about it is if she helps him become stronger. So she's going to spend the
Oh.
week training with her brother to try and make him a better fighter so that she's not so scared.
Okay. And
Ask him to teach you the ways of deceit.
you know, it's actually kind of weird because he's not a full-fledged member. He's not a part of the reservists yet. He wants to be, but like there is this magical strength to him which was kind of like unlocked when he wrestled with Paradigm, a magical horse. And this isn't so much of like I'm joining as a soldier, but like yeah, they kind of offered to like help me maintain my power, kind of like pre-hunter training. It's super weird. And like a, you know, cool thing. So it's like an after-school thing where like he's still going to like public school, but like during the afternoons he goes up to the fucking tyrant's court and just wrestles with like fucking illusory grizzly bears. Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess during the afternoons I go help him with that, and when he's in school, I remember I made her a mentor in her backstory. Can't remember her name. I'll talk with her and hang out with her.
Hellish Rebuke Lady.
Yeah, Hellish Rebuke Lady.
Version 2.
The other one?
The other one. The one that got Helga so obsessed with Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, okay. It's such a good spell. Just...
I know. I can't believe that I always run out of spell slots before I can use it.
Yeah.
Only had Randy.
Rip Randy. You can do these things. I'm trying to give you a justification. Like, you just get, like, more damage to radiant energies.
Yeah, maybe when I'm practicing with my brother, I'm shooting him with radiant stuff.
You're doing great, Henry, wrestling that bear. Now dodge a sacred flame, motherfucker. And he has to, like, roll the bear into it.
Cast Sickening Radiance
training.
on him. Deal with exhaustion now.
Ah!
And then if he
Why?
gets hurt, if he
It's
gets hurt
fire,
even a
too.
little bit, I immediately stop and heal him because I get too scared.
No,
yeah,
it's
Julia, it's fire
fine.
too, so your
Firebolt?
retribution it applies.
Oh, shit, really?
Air 2? Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
That's good.
Hellish
You
rebuke.
deal a lot of
ya.
fire damage.
Indeed, Helga, something unlocks within you this week. Maybe it's because you're, like, fighting side by side with apparently an actual paladin, although he's a 13-year-old,
A natural.
you know, half-orc child boy. There's just this, like, connection that just unlocks within your mind, and you feel like your magic is just more powerful, or better connected would probably be the correct word. And you get, you know, 7 additional hit points plus your constitution modifier, your bonuses, and not more spell slots yet, right? That's at 7?
Nope. Yeah.
Okay.
Spell slots is like level 13 or something
Oh,
for
wow.
warlocks.
What?
Whoops.
No,
Yeah.
I think I get 3. I get 3 at like level 8 or 9, I think.
No, it's at least 11.
Oh, shit.
Damn
That's
it.
right. You have to wait a while. You just get higher level spells until then.
Oh, shit. Satch busting out the book.
I mean,
Okay.
I believe you, but I gotta look.
I'm
I
pretty
gotta
sure
look at
or
our data
13.
here.
spell slots you get is
Well-
4 altogether.
Rules being whatever,
Yeah.
we gotta go to Revik, also known as Sever.
Up 11. You're right.
Sever,
I'm never gonna get there.
the night of the first appears. What's up?
So, assuming that no one comes to me, does Tulsa have a strong homeless population, maybe?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Surprisingly, no.
No. Oh,
Oh,
cool.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the few city-states that actually has, well, humanity that cares about their homeless population. Maybe it's the tyrant. Maybe he just doesn't like watching them be miserable, and they are his servants and whatnot.
For sure.
Doesn't he feed off of misery?
So, Sever is going to put on some of his nicer clothing and head out to a bar then, and just
During
see
the
who's
day?
down on the. No, it's nighttime, right? Because I can't go out during the day.
Indeed. Well, something's gonna happen to you this night. So let's
Oh
put
my
that
God.
plotting and pairing, the predatory instincts you were practicing on pause real quick. During the first, you have a mental link with a very familiar presence. It's not Tyrant, it's not Ozark, it's Arabella.
Oh, no.
She asks you to come to the garden. And there is, like, a clarity within her words. Before, you've always had this, like, maybe it's only now that you truly noticed the frenzy and the neuroticism that she used to operate by. This, like, urgent rushing of, like, my son's turning into a fucking vampire and the world still has water in it. This craziness and madness that she was operating with is no longer there. And she just calmly asks you, hey, Sever, can you come to the garden so that we can speak?
Can I pick up the telephone and just contact the tyrant real quick?
Yeah.
If we don't have telephones, that's fine.
The communicator, as it were, and
Yeah, sure.
try to find the tyrant. Unfortunately, it is the first, and he is having
Oh,
a
he's
chain
knocked out.
reaction of heart attacks and cardiac arrest. He's barely
Okay.
alive right now.
Yeah, fuck it, sure. I'll head to the garden.
You go to the garden, the moonlight illuminating it, as well as just the regular garden lights that no one really cared about. These just like soil planted, very gentle, dimly lit lights within flower beds so that some of the more sensitive plants could, get light even during the night. You walk out and you see her sitting on top of the gazebo, just like staring at the stars and the moon and the sky that is being lit by the full moon far above you.
I guess. How big is the gazebo? Is it enough for 2 people?
Yeah, it can fit like 8 people within it entirely, and she's just
I
on
climb
the
up
roof
the
of it.
top as well.
You jump up there with your frog legs, or well, you climb up there without your frog legs, and she looks at you, watches you struggle a little bit, but doesn't like move to help you as you clamber on up to the cone-like roof above. She thinks for a moment exactly what she wanted to say, because I thought you weren't going to play this week, and we'd have to retroactively do this. Hello, Sever.
Hello, Arabelle.
How are you doing?
Great. I can don't feel like I'm dying anymore. Last 6
That's
months of the nightmare, maybe worth something. Feel good.
Perhaps. Have a seat with me, will you? And she gestures her arm to a side of the roof that she's kind of like sitting on, looking at the sky.
Yeah, sure. Just sit down.
Has my brother father, Hodel, warned you about not going into the ocean?
Yep. He took care of most of the big picture vampire things. Sunlight, water, elementals, ocean.
She nods. Then he forgot to tell you one thing.
Go on.
We vampires, when it comes to our descendants, as it were, we do not reproduce like normal creatures, obviously.
We get one, right?
Sometimes, usually only one. However, it's... She, like, pauses for a moment. There is a universal quality of existence where those before will cause problems for those in the future, including our parents. You fought the Shadow. Do you remember that fight? How it screamed at you?
Yeah. If I recall correctly, wasn't there a someone that all you vampires are afraid of? Kaio something?
Yes. Our... Not ancestor, that's the wrong term. The first vampire, a half-deity cursed by his father, trapped within the Night Realm, as it is called by us. It festers within what we live or leave behind. Currently, just how it was for me, there is a shadow growing within the Night Realm based off you, which your descendant or descendants will have to overcome and surpass, or be haunted. That shadow is connected to you intrinsically, and as you continue to exist, and as your emotions get sucked out of your new shell, they will all accumulate there, until there is but a creature made of eternal void, eternal hatred, and madness. So if you plan to have children, do so quickly while it is not that big of a force to overcome.
Really didn't think have kids as soon as possible was going to be the thing that you're going to tell me.
I am telling you this so that when the time comes and you find that special someone in your heart to turn, say your brother or sister or someone you have a good matching with, you will not accidentally kill them, because you will not be able to protect them when the time comes.
Understood. It's very kind of you to tell me. So
She
you're not too upset.
waves away a fly that comes to buzz around her.
So you're not that upset that I chose the tyrant then?
No. To be fair, I was desperate, though, to get out of the Nidosphere. Fuck, why is this fly around me, she says, in confusion and concern.
The decay.
Cool. Well,
The...
if you want to hang out, just contact the
No,
tyrant.
I don't think it would be good for me to do that.
Cool.
I have clarity now in my mind, but much as you will lose part of yourself I too will inevitably go back to being a mad, insane vampiress who wants to get rid of the world's water.
What's that about, by the way? Is it just because water hurts us, or you got more? Okay.
She stares off into space for a little while.
Might as well get off your chest now. We may never see each other again.
She
More
nods.
reason.
You're, well, no longer your stepfather. That's a teenager now. The creature you saw me with. Do you remember it?
Yeah. You called it your husband?
Yes, that abomination of thought, the amalgamation of so many things. When I met it, it was when it was raining, and it scared it so much. And in my own addled state, as it were, I saw it as a child and fostered it and swore to it to, take away its fears. And, once you make a promise, and when you're fucking crazy, you will do stuff for your children, your husband, your lover. Words will matter more to you soon. But once you fully shake off your mortality, they will matter so much more. Try not to make too many promises. Sever.
I think I get it.
Also, yes, water will fucking destroy us. So, two birds, one stone, and just sort of justified it like that.
You almost don't seem crazy when you describe it like that, yeah.
It's because you destroyed my shadow, as it were. Don't worry, I'll be crazy again soon.
Gotcha. So
I'll
we're just
sing
kind of
to the
like,
stars and get rid of the rain and water like a idiot.
Okay.
Oh well.
So we have to periodically cleanse ourselves of this craziness by having an offspring. Gotcha.
She
alright.
shakes her head. No, you will. It will always be there. It will always taint you for all time. And the sad thing is, it won't always be able to be defeated. You are lucky you have friends, and that the other children of a teenager backed you up in that fight. Because undoubtedly it would have shattered your mind and sent your physical body into the night realm, where our predecessor would have taken over your shell and tried to end the world or do something stupid, as we all will one day.
Well, that's our fate, I guess. Thanks for the heads up.
No problem. Hodil it just probably lapsed his mind. He's actually very considerate and kind for a person, but he lucked out and, well, I won't spoil his tale, but he does not understand the pain that the other vampires suffer through.
Understood.
I will leave before your tyrant wakes up from his cardiac arrest and try to smite me down again. But I will do my best not to see you as an enemy or be spiteful about your decision and just go away.
Cool. In the event we fail this, we are immortal after all. Maybe one day we could be friends.
Maybe. That would be nice.
Yeah.
She pats your, like, skin, I suppose. Your and then sort of just stands up and says nothing, I suppose, as she just sort of gets carried off by the air.
Gotta learn how to do that sometime. And then Revik climbs down from the gazebo and heads off in his opposite direction.
You head off.
Sorry, yeah, good point.
Where's Maury?
Who is Revik now? With many things on your mind, you will go and try to become a predator of the homeless people of Tolst, find out there are none, and then go try to seduce people in a bar. But that will have to wait until after this night. And after our break, because John needs to go on a quick break, and then we will do downtime or finish out Sever, go to Paradigm, and then head on down south. Guys, we will see you right here in a moment. Guys, we're back. Jesus Christ. Right before mics went on. Brood, we have a week of downtime. Arabelle, the curse of this vampiress is lifted off your shoulders. You are now a vampire of tyranny. What would you like to do during your downtime?
So during the nights, I guess I'll just go kind of bar hopping, see if anyone's having a bad time. Be able to try and talk to them, maybe buy them a drink. I'm not necessarily trying to get into their pants, but if that's what they need at the time, you know,
Yeah.
I wanna see what's going on. Like, hey man, is there any way I can help? Maybe we can talk about it.
So you're trying to find desperate and needy people who are going through bad times?
Yeah, I want to help them out, you know?
Okay.
Help them.
Well, on night 2, the tyrant will become conscious again and want to hit you up. So during the later evening of the first night, you will go out and indeed find 2 people who look like they are on the verge of committing suicide. Like, guns to head, like, let's do a murder-suicide pact, jump off this bridge, 360 me, you know, let's go find a steamroller and crush our bone, you know, let's find a rock, basically.
Yeah, I go along with it, and
Yeah,
then, like,
Marty and Malcolm are their names.
Marty and Malcolm. All right.
Yeah.
And then, as we're going, I started telling them about my previous life, about how like as pre-vampire, I was thinking about you know, like maybe I should end it. Maybe I should end it, but you know, some things are worth living for, like my friends, my family.
Boy, I wish I had friends.
Wait a minute. I think we are friends, aren't we?
Are you trying to bait me into doing a persuasion check or something?
Oh my god.
Yeah, sure. You want me to persuasion check?
Yeah, give me something. As you try to get this guy to not commit suicide and become your friend.
Sounds like deception, not persuasion.
That's
Oh,
a
shit,
4.
that's bad. But hold on. I've got plus my charisma and plus my wisdom, so I don't know.
So is that like a
I can't
9?
look at it quick right now.
Oh shit! You still can't access your sheet.
I want another screenshot.
Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'll do it for you then. We're still gonna take that 4.
Sure. I don't know
God,
if
your
I'm-
persuasion's so bad.
Mhm.
Performance, perception. Perception's pretty good. So
The
it's
cataract frog can see.
okay. So it's actually 4 to that. So you roll an 8, and he's like, "Man, we're not friends. You're just here to like loot our bodies after we kill ourselves."
Well, all right. I mean, yeah, I guess that's sort of true. So, are we gonna do this or not?
Oh my god.
You call them on. Like, are we gonna kill each other? One of them chickens out. The other guy literally busts out a gun immediately and shoots himself right in front of you. Rolling a natural 20 on his will to terminate his own life. And he busts out a gun, it fires. You expect him immediately to drop dead and like fall to the ground. But it doesn't. He doesn't. He just like fired the gun, threw his energy shield, would have immediately killed him. And he's still standing. He removes the gun from his head. The bullet falls just from his skull all the way down to the ground. It clinks on the cement in this back alley you found yourselves in. Some dude comes out of like this back door and he's like, "Marty, quit trying to fucking kill yourself. You know you can't." And closes the door. And he just looks so sad.
Hey, Marty. There's always tomorrow. All right.
Not until the tyrant's gone, man! He won't let me die! He won't let any of us die!
Let's get home, man. There's always tomorrow. Let's get home. Alright?
Malcolm,
You're drunk. You're
this
drunk,
guy,
man.
this poor guy's friend, well, not really friend, but like other guy who wants to kill himself, but is too much of a coward to do it himself. Guy who wants to be murdered, essentially, starts to walk Marty home, and you know, grab the other arm and take him back to this like shitty 1-bedroom apartment that's like in the very bad side of town, close to the harbor, and you can dump him off there.
Yeah, I'll leave a note in case he wants to go drinking again.
Yeah, you do so. He may call you another time. But
sure.
you go back to the Tyrant's Court, where at like 4 a.m. the Tyrant is back on his throne. His bodyguards, 20, 30 feet away from him, orbiting, has her giant falx, this big scythe, and you see him. He's a sleepless entity anyway. Looks to you. How's it going, Sever?
Pretty good. I watched a man try and kill himself and was unable to.
Yeah, Marty.
Yeah. He needs some real friends. He probably doesn't have that many, considering he keeps trying to kill himself, but...
See, I think it's just a call for attention, because if he just steps out the gate and does it there, like, I actually cannot stop him from doing it. So either he's just dumb, or it's a cry for help, and, you know...
I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to him.
He nods. How's your vampire thing? Hodel said you need to feed. Do you know how that does?
Yeah.
How that happens
I'm
yet?
working on it. It's slow going, but...
You need a coffin to rest as well.
Ozark said he'd work on that.
Oh,
Any
okay.
word on that? Or...
I haven't talked to him yet. I literally just got back.
Well, like the sun's gonna rise pretty soon, and if it's inside, then maybe I can run into him.
He nods.
Feeling better? Your heart attack stopped?
Kinda. It's rough. I had to bail on a couple meetings today. Or I'm gonna have a busy week. That's what I should say.
Well, if it's inside work, you can just let me do it. Again, like I can't technically sleep, but I have to like sleep. If that makes any sense.
No, this is like, it's personal stuff. I'll handle it. It's fine.
For sure.
Okay. Well.
Wait, do you need any friends like to hang out with?
No. Not really. Wow, you did some. How is this thing not loaded yet? You gotta just like slam refresh. Like, I don't know what's going on. Get Mozilla. Got a new browser.
I guess so, actually. Uh-oh. Internet Explorer Edge?
Yeah. That might do it.
Fine.
Sever, I don't really know how I can help you. So whenever you need anything, come talk to me. Find an Ozark simulacrum, call for shade. I'll do everything I can for you.
And I appreciate that. Right now I'll be okay. I'll find Ozark on my own time. Thank you.
Okay.
Probably in like 2 weeks I'll be like dying and hate myself, but for right now I'm good.
Okay. Well, when you figure it out, come to me. I will do all I can.
For sure. And I've always sort of been like your cohort, and
God.
but you know, if you need anything, let me know.
He nods.
To fist bump.
You two fist bump.
Mutual understanding.
Mm-hmm. Just two young men sharing the night together. Okay.
Oh no. It's about to be Brokeback Mountain.
You don't know my life. You can head back to bed. There is a very shitty coffin that has been prepared with a note that says, "I'm working on it still. This is just a temporary thing." There's also some like just dirt thrown around this like room. It's not even your bedroom, since your bedroom had windows in it, which were, I mean, they were technically real windows, but also kind of not. It's weird. They put you in this new meeting room, cleared out the desk, replaced it with a coffin, threw dirt on the coffin. To like, it's just almost comical and pathetic at the same time. And during this week, you will try to find. Well, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make some friends. If people need help to get their life turned around, I'll help them do it. I want them to believe that they can trust me, because they can, you know.
Yeah.
And if they're willing to, then they can make a sort of bond with me, a pact, and I will come to do something for them. And all they need to do is just carry that mark with them that they're my friend. My friend.
Let me roll some dice.
Start branding people.
Yeah.
Alright, one of those was a natural 20. So Marty won't call you, but Marty's sister, Margaret, shut up. Margaret appears and thanks you for, helping her brother last night. She found, after she came during the morning that day and found your communication information. Called you up, and you guys started talking. You're looking for new friends, for people really to convince to join your new fan club, I suppose, or maybe there were more of your clients as you listen to them.
Yeah. It was, I could solve problems around the city if they have any problems at night, of course. But
yeah. What Mark are you talking about?
Maybe I can be some sort of vampire that does good in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, no. Margaret wants to know what kind of mark.
Oh.
Do you have?
Oh.
She doesn't know you're a vampire.
Right. It's kind of funny actually. It's just these it's two little dots, sort of it's about this big. It's just think of it like having two moles on your neck.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It's not that weird. I mean, no one's gonna ask about it. What they're gonna ask about your moles?
She shrugs. Roll a d20 plus 4, I suppose.
Sure. One moment. I have to get back into game. Here we go. Hold on.
Kermit the Frog with fangs. Did it not work on Edge?
It did not. Edge won't let me log into 7.
There is something severely off-putting by you, Revik. Maybe it's the callousness at which you're describing your scheme of gaining followers and people to feed off of. But this week is going to be kind of rough. And you may need assistance.
You've got my card if she ever needs me.
True.
So.
He has cards.
During this time, Ozark will build you an elaborate, fabricated coffin as well. Made out of well, I guess I'll let you describe what is your dream coffin. You can hit us up with that once the team starts to disembark.
Inflatable, so it's light.
My dream coffin actually has wheels at the bottom. Right?
Yeah.
So you can drag it along behind you.
Okay. I mean, can't they just put a cart? just get a cart.
Yeah,
Who's
but
gonna drag it?
You know how wheelies for the speakers? It's like that, but it's a coffin.
Yeah. It doesn't exactly look like a coffin either, so you can walk into a place with it. It's really like a carriage, right? That's what you.
Well, is it in the perfect world, Ozark also let it kind of fold up into a little cube.
Oh, that's impossible.
So that's impossible then.
Yeah.
Well, once we figure out this briefcase technology.
There you go.
And then.
Oh yes, please go and open a briefcase, please.
Exactly. And
It'll
then
take so much burden off of us.
Okay.
I mean,
but yeah, and if it does have the darkness spell on the inside where you open it, and
Mhm.
it's poof,
Yep.
that'd be cool.
It does
Yeah.
definitely have that. There's a permanent darkness ornament within the interior of the lid. So if somebody lifts it up, it will then activate, and then
For a
go
good
out.
15 minutes, that's like sort of what Revit does, just playing
Yeah.
with it.
Just playing with the darkness spell.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll show it to my friends as well.
okay, cool.
Um,
Paradigm, it's your turn. We have a week of downtime.
oh shit. I almost forgot everything I wanted to do. I want to
Here we
ask
go.
Ozark things.
You find him. Ah, hello!
Hey Ozark.
What's
So,
up?
I kind of want to learn the ways of divination and wizardry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
So does everyone
be
and their
willing-
mother.
Well, would you be willing to help me in any way? Teach me, maybe? You kind of said no a couple months. I don't even know how long I've been here anymore. Months ago. But, would you be willing to?
He takes a good, hard look at you, Paradigm.
Warcaster is bullshit and garbage.
Yes. Your mother purposely trained you wrong, as a joke.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to find her briefcase.
I understand. I too want to find her briefcase.
You want her because she's hot.
I never said that. He stares at you. Leans forward in a chair that he materializes so that he can look down upon you. This chair is floating so that he elevates himself. Crosses his leg. Plays with his glasses for a moment. Up and down. Every time they go to his eyes, does the anime sheen. You can't see his
I
eyes
was just
anymore.
gonna say.
He takes them off, pockets them in a portion of his robe that didn't appear to have a pocket. Paradigm, horseboy, horse. Divination is a cruel and terrible, powerful, true, but also horrifyingly. It's not great being a divination wizard. Seeing time unravel before your eyes, watching the probabilities of everything around you shake this fabric of reality we live within. You will be able to pierce the veil, sure, but you will not have the power to truly affect it. You will be cursed with knowledge, both real and false, see things you cannot unsee, and in the end, the world itself will try to rip you from your thread within its weave. Be aware of this. But I agree, War Mage is a bullshit class. You should be allowed to move your objectives. And I can teach you this power. It will be an arduous journey. We will stare at many Rubik's Cubes made out of glass, look at the stars, and cry together. If that is what you wish.
I do, Ozark. It would help me with the whole dimension traveling thing, be able to look where I'm going before I step in.
No, it won't. But
Okay.
I understand your excuse. Because if I'm still trapped here, despite being the best diviner in the world, he says, as though it's like a fact or something, just yells
Like
it
he's
down the
proven to
hallway.
someone.
Yeah. I'm still trapped here, Paradigm. You think I want to be here? Think I want to be in different realms if I could by now? Why am I here? He says for a moment and then looks back to you.
If I figure it out, I can take you with me.
I'd like that. Me and all of my simulacrums would like that very much.
Wait, Are you not a simulacrum?
And then he begins to float down the hallway, expecting you to follow him.
I follow him?
You follow him, and for an entire week, you will just kind of lose track of time, and may become a divination wizard, and sort of just pop out 7 days later, kind of in a trance, in a daze, unsure of the exact process in which you were magically altered.
Do I have, like, tear marks running down my face, just kind of there now?
Kind of. Everything seems
the crying
strange
with
as
Ozark.
well. Like, looking at the world again, everything seems really odd. As if nothing is familiar. Kind of as if you've just, like, stepped into a hallway of your house, which is, like, one thing that somebody just altered a little and changed. Everything seems very weird. And you all may reconvene on the 8th as your long rest concludes. Boom! You're in the same room. Welcome back to the snack room. It's as if you never left that first time.
Yeah.
Thatch,
Gordon's.
beat up, bruised, has a black eye. Helga, I guess... What? Was there anything that changed, really? You just seem a little bit more confident in your steps. More magically powerful. Paradigm looks like he has just been chasing a raccoon for like 7 days. Kind of sweaty,
He looks
kind of
like he just
musky.
came out of K-hole.
Yeah. Sever is there, brooding, upside down. Obviously, no, he hasn't unlocked that part yet. And Coraline,
for the
of
first
course.
time ever, you see Coraline with like vestiges of makeup, like eyeshadow and stuff that she missed to take off from her her attempt at flirting.
You're all together.
A shot.
You did something different with your hair?
Nah, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
I didn't notice anything then.
Yes. Are we ready to go? I know I still have to get some rope. Maybe we should get something to disguise ourselves when we're there. Does anybody here know what one of the cults looks like? Like the normal citizens?
John, I'm from City of Blinding Lights. Could I describe it? Or...
I'm sorry, what was the initial question?
It's just something so we blend in.
Yeah.
Their clothing and aesthetic is based off of the Enlightenment period of Renaissance Italy. So, describe yourselves thusly.
Oh, so Thatch should wear that conquistador armor and the striped thing like Alonso.
Yeah, basically. You guys can go to like live action role playing shops and try to find some clothing suitable to that era and to that region.
Cool.
Did Ozark set up a airship to drop us off and maybe bring us back, or do we have to do that ourselves?
You ask such silly questions.
Or Tyrant? I mean, Coraline would ask Tyrant rather than Ozark, if he's available.
Well, he soon will be, but you guys should all talk amongst yourselves real quick before he crashes the party, as it were.
Okay.
good.
Which of the three cults are we hitting?
Well, what if we ask Chaos Man if he wants to help us raid the other two?
I think he would.
I think if he's all about disrupting them and humiliating them, I think this would be something that he would happily go along with. We might miss out on getting his stuff, but the real big ticket shit, that...
What if he robs us?
He doesn't seem like he robs people. He gives them
Look,
shoes. Maybe we'll get some shoes.
That's a big what if, but what if he doesn't? I don't think he cares to. If all his goings on are trying to fuck with them, he just wants them to not have the things that they have. He hasn't tried taking them himself yet, has he? Not to our knowledge.
I mean, it
I
might
like
be worth a shot.
He would probably be our best bet at a real distraction to get them out of the way.
Okay.
If we have to prioritize one over the other, I
And
would
if we
vote
ask him for
on
help,
the Church of the Lunar Light. But if we ask him for help and we can hit both, then we can hit both.
we would
We
be.
need to
It
be
would
ready.
make it much easier.
We need to be ready though to hit one and be ready to get out of the city.
I
If
pull
shit
out
starts
map
hitting the fan.
and I wiggle it in the air.
All right.
Our paths are open.
So do we need anything else other than rope and some plain
Yes.
clothes?
I should grab a
Thatch.
shield.
Yeah, Thatch will offer to go to the supply area and gather supplies for everybody.
Okay. Dash will get supplies.
Wait,
Wonderful.
Hey,
ready?
vampire, you know silence, right?
Yes.
We're gonna need that and pass without trace when we're doing this. If we need to break a window, we don't want anyone to hear it.
Okay.
We should
that's
also probably get a grappling hook.
Okay. I can climb. Yeah, okay, well, grappling hook is good still.
Well, Coraline can't climb like you can.
Okay.
I have spider climb, but I don't know if people will probably take more notice of a horse climbing up the side of a building than an elf going up, or a normal person going up the side of a building.
Oh yes, when we're doing this, I won't be myself. Trust me.
What?
I have a few tricks you haven't seen yet.
Alright.
I squint.
So I guess grappling hook, 100 feet of rope split between two people, and then a shield.
And Thatch will grab a bunch of sacks to be able to carry shit out of it. And then a
Okay.
crowbar for himself.
Preferably with the dollar sign on it for
I
loot.
put on
Why
my
don't you just get a
saddlebags.
portable battering ram? SWAT team 6 the door. Come on.
Ah, that was way too
That's
much.
what I'm for.
Okay.
Can we also get, just like, there's a portable flashlight that's really helpful. Oh, I don't need it actually. Never mind.
Yeah.
Don't care anymore.
Alright.
All of you should
Put on
have
my
ways to
goggles at
see.
night.
While Thatch is down there, is he able to procure another +1 longsword from the
Uh,
supply area?
Yeah, there's still 39 left.
Okay.
Jesus
sounds
Christ.
Plus
Let's just
one
grab all of them and
longswords.
sell them somewhere.
Nope.
Can we just use them as throwing weapons?
Thatch, you will. Well, instead of you going to the armory, this stuff will be brought to you.
Okay.
As the tyrant seems to have read your mind and found out you broke a +1 longsword, and as he enters, throws a sack full of rope, grappling hooks, and a +1 longsword at you all. His bodyguard enters shortly thereafter, and he comes to sit on his desk, looking rather tired. It is the 8th. It's been a hell of a week for him. And although he's just, there's not that like kick to his step that he normally has when interacting with you. And this seems to be in line with what you see as well, Coraline. He seems to be acting fully himself. And he says, "Hello."
So there's no difference between with or without the illusion?
None at all.
Oh, okay.
Seems to be in sync right now.
Because I was gonna nudge Helga to kind of get her to, put into practice what I mentioned. But I guess if it's the same, there's no point.
The tyrant looks at you all. His eyes fall on each and every one of you. Lingers on Sever and then focuses hard on Coraline. And then quickly just, stretches, shakes his head. So what have you guys planned? How can I help you all? You're leaving again. I feel like I should know what you're about to do before you, well, ruin relations if you get discovered with this city to our south.
Well, we're gonna... I had an idea. I don't know if everyone agrees with it, but what if we might think about asking the Herald guy if he wants to help us steal from the other two factions in Blinding Lights? Since he seems to be all about disrupting and humiliating the others.
If you
Having
find
all of
him
their shit
trustworthy,
stolen.
If you can find him, that is. He seems like a mysterious creature that is baited into action rather than just go to X place and talk with him.
I look at Thatch. He could pass as a paladin, I guess.
Try to stand up and look majestic, and a shotgun blast erupts as my knees crack.
I'm sure that the Herald would have so much fun with those knees.
You know, if I want to draw attention, I can just go sit down and stand up in the park.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll draw a crowd.
The tyrant says nothing to that. Kind of looks sad a little bit. Like, all right.
We had also considered leaving something at the scene of the repossession that belonged to one of the other cults. And if we could do more than one, then do it at all of them. To kind of steer their interest in each other rather than an outside force.
It will have to be something believable. Because, I mean, no one's an idiot, right? If I found something in my armory missing, and some guy's just like, full-blown, like, diary was just there as well, I'd be like, okay, someone clearly planted this. I can't trust this at all.
I was thinking more of a ripped piece of uniform that's relatively distinctive.
You think a thief
maybe...
would wear a uniform when breaking into a rival political factions like Treasury?
Maybe if their swords are ornamented to either faction.
You think you would leave behind your +1 longsword?
Well,
enemy's
do their
vault?
boots have particular threads?
Ah, yes. Who would... The tyrant just fucking laughs at you like, yes! I too, when stealing from armories, often lose a shoe and leave it behind.
No,
I
I was
don't
thinking
notice
if they-
at all.
I was thinking if they have particular patterns in the different cults, then we could leave footprints that shows those patterns.
Footprints. Perhaps.
I would say that even if it doesn't look believable, even if evidence looks like it was planted, even if it looks like somebody put something there they wanted us to see, the distraction is what we're looking for. More so than convincing people that the other factions are still against each other. If it makes them think, if it makes them investigative, makes them worry, and it doesn't point to us.
I
then at least
believe
accomplish
it will
something.
investigate. If someone were to steal from my treasure, or my treasury, or my armory, a full-blown investigation is going to happen no matter what. A little piece of like, oh yes, I could send one person to go run that down. It'd be more like, oh, it's time to go on full state alert and get all hands on deck. It wouldn't be one detective going to seek out the entirety of this mystery, right? I'd call upon all of my army and be like, hey, yo, someone just stole all my shit. Let's go. City lockdown, hunt this motherfucker down. That's what I would do. Maybe these people down south wouldn't, for some reason. I wouldn't really care about a boot print or a wallet or a... You know, even if someone's, like, birth certificate was, like, nailed to that fucking door or whatever. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, we're going on lockdown.
Magic.
We're gonna be casting detect magic on everybody. We're gonna fucking go to the airship tower as well. Like, fuck. That thing, terminal's shutting down. I don't care how many captains will get pissed off at me.
Speaking of that, is there anything that can block touch magics from
Detect
finding
magic?
the items we take?
Magic.
I mean, there's
Sheets of metal.
anti-magic shell. Ozark usually uses that whenever... Well, here's the thing. We're all super magical anyway. It's kind of stranger if you're, like, a grown adult wearing armor and weapons and you don't get a magical signature.
No, I was thinking of something more specific. I'm pretty sure there are magics to seek out certain items, yes?
Oh,
Locate object is a spell.
yes.
Is there anything that can block that so that they can't immediately seek us out?
About, what, 6 inches of lead, 3 inches of silver. You line that up in a bag, in a box, probably.
That seems a little heavy. Maybe if you are you supplying an airship to bring us back and forth? Because if so, then there could be at least something like that in the cargo.
Potentially
Where
we
could stash
can.
things.
I have the Ulatheans who are willing to go south. He looks to Seaver. They, in theory, will help you. They have... I'm not supposed to tell you this, but they have more or less bad blood with one of the cults there. Or potentially one creature, I'm not sure exactly. Ulathean artifacts have been dug up from the Southlands before, treated as holy artifacts to someone's religion, sort of misidentified them, and they have raided a temple there. I think when Revik, or Seaver, the previous Seaver, fuck, this is going to be difficult, was there last. They recovered a dagger or some such weapon.
So they know the layouts of one of them, which could be beneficial to us.
Kind of. It was... They
Any idea
literally
which one?
crashed their airship into their building and then, like, ran in, grabbed their shit, and then left.
That would not be our first choice.
He shrugs.
Do they know Erithil's airship? Like, are they going to be under fire as they drop us off and then leave?
I'm not sure. I don't. She kind of did that on her own, and I found out about it like 2 months later. So I never did a follow-up. I don't know. It's not like I'm going to admit that, like, oh yeah, that was our foreign allies. Like, there's no communication between us and the City of Blinding Lights. Damn near at all.
Whatever Erithil does in the City of Blinding Lights will be whatever she does.
Yeah.
We weren't over there. Understood.
Sounds like she could be a good distraction.
The only reason I am against sending her is because she will be an unknown, like, reactive force that you all will have to, like, deal with. If it comes to find out that she can't land or, you know, dock at the airship terminal because suddenly paladins are just fucking knocking down the drawbridge, you know,
Sure,
like...
I have Featherfall, right?
I have. You think that it's gonna look normal for the 6 of us to drop down, including a horse?
I mean, it's not like I
No.
can drop down during the day.
I have Featherfall.
Alright, cool. I think we can do it. Regardless of Erithil being there.
I think a quick exit is more important than a
Yeah.
quick entrance.
Agreed.
Then we would have to get to another city, right? Aren't there cities, like small cities around City of Blinding Light?
There are, like, towns, villages, and ranches that are not really mapped, that are, like...
Could we get ourselves a car and drive to one of these
Oh
small
my God.
villages?
Potentially. I don't know
I
what's
wonder
in the
if-
City of Blinding Lights. I don't think their roads are paved. Seaver? Is there many vehicles in the City of Blinding Lights?
Are there?
No, God no. It's Renaissance Italy! It's like going back in time
I
when
can drive
William...
on an unpaved road.
There's a lot more boats going between places than there are cars.
All we need is a carriage and a disguise for me. Begrudgingly.
It's happening, you guys. It's happening.
I wonder if the Smugglers Guild, the man we escorted, he mentioned we could go speak with them. Maybe as a promise for future favor, we could, if they have anyone there, they could have an airship in the area that we can escape on.
It's possible. From what I understand of how the Smugglers Guild operates, there is always a team or so, a paired bond, a rune and a brun, somewhere within the city. But you can't always trust these people. The more people you let in on the secret, the more the chances will be that, you know, they'll betray you, they'll get greedy. Trust is not something you should give out warrantly, or unwarranted, or easily during missions of subtlety.
Perhaps we could borrow Smitty and one of his little airship shuttles. We could drop them off nearby, and we could walk to them, and then fly to wherever we could go.
A civilian airship won't make it.
Towed from your airship. No?
Maybe, but now we're getting into, like... We're making this more complicated. It could be done in theory, but now you have to worry about a civilian airship that lands somewhere that you then have to fly out. Are you sure you want this many factors?
Well, if you're confident that the airship can land and wait for us and take
I'm
off...
not. I don't know.
As soon as we go...
I've never been to the Southlands before. I don't know what terrain is there.
I mean, I guess we could always hire the smallest airship to go there, and then when we're ready to go, we just, you know... And then leave ourselves.
Is it a walled city?
It is not, no.
We could just walk out.
Well, we're going to need an airship to get us there. We're going to need an airship to get us out eventually. They have an airship terminal in the city. Sounds like there's no other airship terminal anywhere nearby other than that one. Am I
There's
correct
one
in
in
my assumption?
Sanctuary and Maelstrom.
How close are those to the city of Blinding Lights?
Sanctuaries...
Like days of travel or hours of travel?
It's days. On foot to Sanctuary is like... I don't even know. The Discovery team calculated this while I was in
I think
the
it's just
room.
under a week.
Yeah, something like that. There's
It
boats.
seems like
if you
seems
take
like
a...
I look over at Sever. We probably don't want to go in the water.
Don't go in the water. Go.
No, but it is one of the best ways to get around in the city.
And without roads, a cart with a coffin would not be very mobile in the wilderness.
Seems like the best way to get out of the city is by airship. So therefore, maybe we
Gotcha.
make our run and make our raid and leave immediately
Go in.
to
leave,
avoid detection.
Take
go
what
in.
you can.
And if we have to,
You'll
we'll
need to do advanced surveillance for that. I doubt you can just walk in and then break down a vault door, right?
I imagine we probably will find a way to get there, find a way to secure an exit that we can leave at a moment's notice, and then start doing surveillance. Find what we want, plan our mission, hit it, and run immediately.
He nods.
Any other thoughts? I know we had just come up with a wonderful plan to enlist the Herald, but it seems like we may not be able to find him. If we find him, then maybe we alter our plan, but it seems like this is the...
You say he tends to show up when chaos happens, yes?
No, to cause chaos.
But
Yep,
is he
the power-
attracted if
Oh,
somebody
power.
else causes chaos?
Maybe.
You could show up.
We'd have to ask. I can summon an Ozark Simulacrum. He's the one who did all the scouting for this. Ozark! He just shouts at the door. A few minutes will pass, and then an Ozark simulacrum will show up. And he'll be like, "Ah, yes, hello. Greetings, all of you creatures. What? What do you want?"
We're wondering if you would know how to contact or attract the
Herald.
the Herald.
If I knew his name or had a bit of his flesh or hair or body, I could cast Sending and annoy him until he did what we wanted him to do.
Yes, but failing that for us mere mortals, is there anything that he tends to seek out or?
Who has the dossier? He goes to Thatch, who looks the most responsible.
I pull the dossier out
He takes it.
and hand it over to him.
He reads it. Does a check. Oh! Okay. Here's a term none of you have heard before. I know it. Who knows about the law of casualty? Raise your hand. Anyone? Alright, cool. Who has heard of a counterbalance before? Is that the mechanical one we're talking about, or the philosophy? Okay, cool. In this world, there are things. Entities that work and do a thing that the world wants it to. We call these agents of casualty. They are going to go and do something and make sure it's done. However, these things are often paired and counterbalanced by these agents of counterbalance. To me, what it sounds like is the spirit of a troll, looking at the dossier. Seems to be the counterbalance to not just one, not just two, but the entire city, and them establishing order. Chances are he's a giant asshole hiding out in the woods somewhere, or is a ghost and materializes to do this one action. That's what I think it is, because no one lives past 100 years, and I don't know them.
So when all the paladins are acting paladin-y and doing their good bullshit, he's gonna come in and make chaos.
Probably. Or maybe he's just like a dick and has like descendants who are also just giant assholes. And are, you know, it could be either or. You know, once you have a flash mob and you start like rolling down the meme hill, you keep going and it builds momentum and it gets out of control and it becomes this whole thing. Suddenly there's a festival dedicated to you. You don't do that one. That one sucks.
So we ask his mobs how to find him too.
Sure. It seems like he's got a bunch of memers on call. Anything else I can help you with? I'm kind of busy. I have to weave, he says. Becoming a a knitter? Is that what it's called?
A
I don't know.
basket weaver.
Sure.
Object bond.
I'm a busy man, even though I'm a simulacrum. He looks sad at that kind of self-admitting revelation.
Yeah, where is the real Ozark?
Alright, Ozark leaves. The tyrant looks to you guys.
I think
So
we
we-
should take the Olathane ship.
Let's give it a try.
That's our best bet
Sure.
right now.
Worst case, we jump off once they get fired on. Hope to feather fall in the dark and make our way out on our own.
He's just
Hopefully
dead-eyeing
we just
Revik
fall
right
onto
now.
one of the buildings.
Tyrant's just looking at you, Sever.
I will not endanger relations between the Lothans and Tulsa.
I'll
Okay.
mace him if he tries.
Is there a
Sure.
civilian airship we could just take to the City of Blinding Lights
I'm
and
sure.
then hire to remain there until we're ready to leave?
Potentially. You'd have to...
But would
Make
they
those
leave if the
dealing
city
yourselves.
goes on lockdown if we tell them to leave while it's on lockdown?
I guess they would if we persuaded them.
Irithyll is also in a warship. Not that that really changes things too much, but chances are she's not even going to truly dock. Maybe she'll pick you up. Hopefully she'll pick you up. I don't know why she wouldn't. She wouldn't damage relationships with me.
What
Our
would
best
solve-
bet would be her, hoping that she could be our best escape, is what I'm getting at.
Definitely.
Was it the tyrant that was so unconvincing when he said that, or was that John that was just being unconvincing?
That was the tyrant.
Oh, okay.
What does this Ulathan ship? What do they desire? What can we do to convince them to go along with
Oh,
us?
I can just order them to do it.
Yeah, they will.
They're our
they will
foreign
follow
allies.
us.
Yeah.
We don't
It
have
might
to
be that.
convince them of anything.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying this is
Yep.
our best option for an escape route.
Best
Nope,
not to
solve-
mention any European artifacts. Do not mention it. Do not mention them.
Fair enough. You know what would solve all of our problems?
An
If
airship.
we had our own airship.
He nods. All right.
Maybe we'll.
I will go and speak with Irithil. She will be mad, but, you know, when is she not? They will contact you. Irithil still has a way of contacting you, right, Sever?
We all have those communication devices.
Understood. Before I leave and go and get this organized, is there something any of you want to say to me? And he eyes everyone, including Coraline.
What do we do?
No, I don't know. Well, you have
Well,
done nothing, Paradigm.
I'll come out and say it.
Oh, the stabbing?
You're an impressive ice dancer.
Thank you.
Are you referring to the stabbing? I feel like it's stabbing.
I may be referring to a stabbing.
It could be the stabbing.
I may be referring to an investigation that is being held in poor secrecy. That,
It's
or
something
one
I
of
don't-
you has developed a libido and a taste for children, and
What?
that's somewhat upsetting.
I'm sorry?
He eyes Coraline fully now.
Never looked at Paradigm.
Natural ones are noticeable. I'm sorry.
Oh, this.
Well, I still don't understand what happened at the battle. Your bodyguard, she went crazy. She stabbed somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I was merely doing what the hunters did to that Igor fellow. You know, knock him out, and then he's safe.
No. He just looks at you and
Yes.
says no.
Did you try to do something to children, Coraline?
No, I did not try to do anything to children.
He says, wiping off his eyeliner.
I was just trying
If you
to talk
have
to them.
something to say or to ask, do so to me. If it's about me, I can tell you. I'm not gonna bullshit you. So do you have something you want to ask me or not?
I was curious to the circumstances when you appeared, and how. I mean,
Yeah.
I was wondering how you beat Ozak so easily, but after seeing him at the battle, I mean, it's kind of moot at this point. It
Yeah,
was
he's
kinda
kind of a
obvious.
chump. He's very specialized in fighting one sort of people. Look. I got teleported to another fucking dimension. Do you know how
This is the
weird that
other-
is?
This is the other dimension.
What? No. And he points to Sever.
Vampire Night.
I got trapped in a fucking nidosphere of doom and death and fucking mercury staining my goddamn pants. You know how weird that is? My bodyguard tried to fucking chase me down. That's her job. She's fast. Okay? Now, and he looks at her, the bodyguard behind him. She doesn't really care about anybody else. Okay? Out of professionalism, or whatever it is. Don't get in her way.
But she slashed at someone just because he was slightly in his way. I don't remember who at this
Shit.
point.
Sounds like she's
But I
doing
know
her
that was
job
somebody.
really well then, huh? How many would you, like, if your charge got fucking taken to a place, you know where it is, due to a magical link? And you
I
would
would
just
probably
let some
shove
piece
with-
of shit stop you?
I would
But how would she
probably
know where you
shove
would be?
them out of my way, but not with the point of my blade.
Well,
Wait, how did she know where you were and how to get to you?
we're linked magically.
Oh,
Yeah.
the way that you're linked to Celeste or something else?
What does that matter?
I'm just curious.
You did tell us to ask if we had questions.
Yeah,
Paradigm is very curious about many things.
well, some things aren't his business as a matter of national security. Stop investigating my bodyguard, Coraline. And he just tells you that outright.
All right.
Okay, cool.
But can you tell me about the time you appeared in Canada?
Jeez.
Why do you care?
It's. I mean, it's how you came on the stage. You should be. Isn't that what you want everybody?
Okay.
everybody to see?
Here's how Counselor happened from my perspective. War, explosion, civil war now, death, everyone is dying in Cancelar, the Confederation is about to explode. Someone had to step in, just so happened I was the only one willing to do that. We have a world filled with highly magical people who don't give a shit. So I walked in there, laid down the law, and let everyone flee. That's it. Then, when I was gone from here, same shit happened again. Lots of people fucking died in Tulst. It really sucked. Do you know how bad that feels? Like, oh yeah, this is my city. I grew up here. I lived here all of my life. Well, most of my life. As soon as I step away, it gets almost demolished entirely, saving another state. It was a bad year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. And he stares at you for a little while longer. And you can see,
The
like,
burden of leadership is hard. May you continue to protect Tulst and those who are allied with.
somebody has to. And he will kind of leave at that. Kind of angry. Maybe not angry, but charged, just emotionally. Yeah.
Emotions give him heart attacks.
Not really answering any single one of your questions either. Or getting to, like, the full root of it.
Is he out of the room?
Oh, yeah. He's gone.
I will say, Coraline, be careful with that one.
What were you trying to do to those kids?
I was just talking to them. I was
I
trying
would
to
like
hear
to
some
know.
stories from their parents. Their
With
parents
makeup?
was well, you know, the little boys, they always react that way.
Coraline!
If you're a pretty face, they tell you things.
Severus
Should I
just
not
like...
let you around my brother anymore?
Oh no.
I had no other motive. No, I just wanted to see if I could learn from their parents.
Okay, seems like there were other ways to go about that.
Oh, maybe.
Coraline, come with me. There's this wonderful
Oh, no.
word that I learned in Thorazor as I lead her out of the room. It's called subtlety. We can just end the scene there if you want.
Okay.
I thought you were going with statutory rape.
No.
Jesus Christ. All of them coming out hard with the steel chair and the law book in his hand.
Damn it!
Yes, cringe, says Chad in the chat. Through an emoji. The meeting can dissolve there, if you guys so choose. Irithil has to be alerted of her new duties and then of the mission, and be kind of strangely optimistic about going there. So on the 9th,
Shit.
yes, on the 9th, you guys can set out. Or, gather some stuff. So during the 8th, is there anything anyone wants to do in Tulst before leaving it potentially forever?
Nothing. They can't wait till we come back.
You may never come back, Thatch.
Well, Thatch is
Say bye to my
It's time to
family.
leave.
Okay. Helga, you say goodbye. Your brother, the manipulative bastard that he is, he's like, don't forget to get me a souvenir!
You got it.
Bring him with us.
No.
Oh yeah, I totally come with you if you just ask. Come on, wouldn't that be? And then your dad
gotta
just
stay
slaps him in the back of the head. No! You aren't going adventuring. You're not even 14. Then you can go adventuring. He's like,
I will leave a note for Igor saying that I accept his challenge down by wherever his quarters are, and say to meet me in Tulst at the 1st of the month.
oh shit.
And leave a note in
Fuck.
Ozark's laboratory saying I appreciate the moment we shared that I can't remember.
Okay. The 9th,
I put
Igor.
a tear at the end.
challenged. And on the 1st of June.
Yeah, sure. We'll be back
Alright.
by then, maybe. I don't know.
Or dead.
If not, that he can sit and wait for me. That's fine.
Igor versus Thatch.
Or just ghost them.
Or we can ghost him.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
oh,
no,
shit.
trust me. I don't want to ghost him. I want the opportunity to do this challenge and then chat with him for a little bit, I think.
Okay.
So, we'll see what we can set up.
better train that strength score. You can ask Paradigm to arm wrestle you in the meantime.
Fair enough.
It's just-
Coraline's a little frustrated with how things went, so she's gonna spend most of the night out on the docks.
You go out to the docks. What about you, Sever?
For the last day.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to bring civilians, assuming that they
Oh my
agree?
god.
Like if I pay someone?
You want to pay someone?
I've got
He wants a
60
blood mule.
I've got 80 Tulsa bucks, and I could use someone to carry our stuff, like the coffin.
Not on the Ulathaean ship.
Oh god.
You can just stick the coffin in the ship.
Yeah, we just take the coffin on the ship. All right,
Yeah.
that's fine. All right, nothing. We got nothing. Call
Okay.
Marty, check on him. Call Margaret. They're good. All right, tell them I'll be back in a few weeks.
Okay. Have fun!
I'm gonna ghost you.
Well, Marty certainly will try to ghost you, but to no avail. No one can die in Tulst, so long as the tyrant is there. Or, violently kill themselves, perhaps is a better word. You all say goodbyes. Anchois, unfortunately, is not here to do anything cool. So maybe we'll retroactively do something the next time we see... Well, next time we see him. We still got, half an hour, something like that. So you guys can just set out on the 9th. And who has not been on the Ulathaean ship before? I know Thatch hasn't.
Nope, not me.
I think Brood's the only one.
Okay, so you guys will assemble at the Tower of Tulst itself. And John will move us to the world map.
Oh, you made it hexes.
Yeah, it's hexes now for the meme. On Thursday, nobody even knew there was a grid. Nobody noticed the grid. And then they're like, why is this hexes now? It used to be nothing. Like, no.
I feel like I'm playing Civ.
You, during the early morning, will go to the airship jetty outside of a Pillar of Authority and meet the Ulathaeans and see this vessel. Thatch, you are from Thorazor? You are familiar with most, if not all, modern day full metal airships. Their patterns only a few of them exist in the world, and you are staring at an unknown model of a frigate that is slightly smaller than a regular frigate, has this heavy, like, prow to it, like, clearly a massive battering ram, and a completely, you don't see any side weapons at all. This is super weird looking, completely foreign and alien to you. And the people who are running it are all seemingly wearing magical splint mail with helmets that fully obscure their faces and heads.
So we shouldn't try to pull a Miros.
Oh god.
Probably not. What is Thatch thinking of as he sees this completely foreign, including to, like, the rest of the Confederation? Like,
Excitement. I want to get my eyes on what's going on with the ship. I want to study it. I want to see what's going on with this crew. We're going to be here a week. I've got a whole week to kind of learn and see new stuff, because in the back of Thatch's mind, not this ship, of course, but we need our own ship.
yes.
We had so many problems. We spent how long talking to the Tyrant of just potential issues that would result from the fact that we have to rely on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm studying this one. I'm remembering the airship manual that I have back in my room, that 30-pound volume that I've been looking in over the night. Whenever I come back, we're going to find a way to get ourselves our own ship, even if we have to build one. And I'm going to start studying it.
Oh, shit.
There's a Maelstrom ship in the dock.
What?
Or there was a week ago.
John, is there more than one Ulathaean ship that works for the Tyrant?
Not to anyone's knowledge.
Then we were on it from where did we get picked up? Because I know
Vestry.
that's the one where Corling spent some time in the jail on the way back.
Yeah.
We got
Yes.
picked up from Alcazan when we went to the fucking middle of the goddamn nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That
We
was
had
that
been
ship.
on it. I
So
forgot about that.
Thatch is the only one who hasn't been on this then. However, Sever is definitely the, person who is the most familiar with this. And it's early morning. The sun isn't even out yet. So as they load up your coffin, having been informed of your new requirements, I should say, Irithil will meet with you all before Sever has to retire to his coffin for safety purposes, or at least the hold. You see this, like, 5 foot, maybe 5 foot, somewhere between 5 and 5.5 feet tall, long-eared, completely bald, shaven head, strange creature who is wearing what appears to be splint mail with taloned gauntlets made out of metal. That is part of the armor as well. No cloak or anything, but this weird mechanical piece that runs all the way up to her incredibly long ears that droop back beyond her shoulders. And she greets you all with a kind of pleased look, to the point of, like, this is suspicious. I'm like, why is this person happy to see us?
Your hat.
And she looks at Sever. She's like, Revik, my friend! It's been too long. How are you?
Better. I've gotten better. Much better. Different.
That's good.
Thanks as always for your help, and
Oh, it's no problem.
how is that cloak of yours doing?
Oh, it's great. We returned it to the reliquary where it had belonged to be this entire time.
Well, maybe we'll run into more Ulathaean artifacts.
You
wherever
know,
we go.
that's the hope, isn't it?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into more.
Yeah.
Well, it's
We
good
can
to
always
see
hope.
you. Let's get
You're
started.
not gonna introduce me to your new squad? The other one lost,
Not
possibly
good, I'm
dead,
not- Coraline. All right, let's go. Oh, Antoine.
You all just see Sever board the airship.
Hey, Earthil. Did the dude in the wheelchair ever attack you with a flail by chance? Arvo,
My
whatever his name is?
grandfather? No.
Yeah,
He cannot
He,
move his arms. Of course not.
that's good. Did he ever have anyone attack you? Have you been attacked with a flail recently?
No. Should
Okay,
I have
good.
been? She says, eyeing your flail.
He, I asked him if he could do something with the flail, tell me anything about it. It silences wizards and it attaches to their people's throats.
It's a good thing that I'm a witch, then.
I don't know, he seemed very happy to have it and then whispered something about going after you when he got it.
You must be misremembering. My grandfather and I are the only family we have.
Okay then. Sure.
She looks at the
Step in
others.
front after the awkward silence. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Thatch. This is a magnificent ship you have here.
Ah, you're the one making the weird noises, she says, shaking your hand with her fanged grip. I heard your clicking and clacking of your knees just now, and before in the hallways, and all over the place, wherever you go, really. It's quite noticeable.
I don't hear it as much anymore. Maybe I've become accustomed to it.
Maybe. Have you seen a doctor about it?
Well, I've seen several doctors about it, but, well, they said there's not much they can do. After your parachute fails to open several times from distances of large heights, eventually there's damage that just doesn't get repaired.
Yeah, it's true. You
Even in this magical
barbarians
world.
with your weird parachutes. You should, well... She thinks about giving you advice, but thinks against it. Thinks better of it. Well, welcome aboard, young man. Come on in.
I'll smile when she says young man, and then walk past.
And her eyes come to Helga and Coraline, and probably Antoine last. The three of you having had the worst interaction possible with her crew before. And she smiles brightly at you, filled with joy. It's like, welcome back! Hopefully not for as long a stay.
Helga might actually notice that usually Coraline walks next to her so they can chat. Except when there's they're talking to somebody that seems a little off, and then Coraline's a little more protective and might stand in front of her. This time Coraline's kind of behind Helga and very subdued because she remembers her experience on the ship.
Right, yeah, glad to be back. I'll be going in then. Nice. And I just walk past her.
Coraline just kind of shuffles on the opposite side of Helga of Iridil and tries to keep up.
Do try not making deals with any monsters or eldritch abominations this time.
I give her a thumbs up.
Okay. She looks at Antoine. Antoine can say something witty like he usually does. They will have banter, and she will follow up after you guys. The bridge to the hold that has been extended to the jetty being, lifted, brought back into the airship. The hold will close. Irithyll will look at you guys as you sort of hesitantly look around your new surroundings. Well, it's a long flight to the City of Blinding Lights, but, we don't have to stop, so we're just gonna start going. So please, buckle in, find a place to sit down. But we're fully, armed right now, so we have no spare rooms to give you. Alrighty. And she leaves. She goes to her command bunker on the top deck to become a shipmaster and fulfill that role. And you guys can fly for several days, I believe. As I calculate the time it takes for her ship to go straight to the City of Blinding Lights.
Wait, straight there?
Yep.
Yeah, is it normal that it can go straight there?
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
Most
Good.
airship, a trip like
Or-
that would have to take like a couple stops.
It would take
because
like,
they only go like,
yeah, like 4 or 5 stops.
isn't it
yeah.
like 1,000 miles they can travel on its full tank or
It-
something?
It depends on the airship specifically, but that's usually the case, yeah. Most people want to make stops anyway to get rid of excess weight or to, put on new weight, drop off carryover passengers who just heard that, like, hey, can you take me? Like, blah, blah, blah. Depending
It's
on,
sort of
like
the Yulethan flagship, I think. Like,
it's kind of small to be a flagship, but it is clearly designed to go forever. No one is certain of this ship's range, and they're not willing to tell anyone. I mean, assumedly they will tell everyone, like, yeah, we can go forever, no big deal. Like, we have the best airship in the world. Like, don't fuck with us.
Magic.
I will
Indeed.
definitely try to approach somebody and ask them if they can tell me how they can go forever, because
Yeah.
Thatch is mystified at this.
You can be, and people who will hide behind a language barrier, will pretend not to speak common, Klovisa common, and be like, Tushkwana? No, sorry. No speak, no speak barbarian, and then, they'll leave.
Sang barbarian perfectly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's actually quite impressive how intelligible they are when they say they're not intelligible.
Speaking of that,
I'll get the hint.
where are the Ulatheans from?
That's a great question.
Like, there's no Ulathea city, right?
No.
Not here.
Supposedly, they're not even from this continent. And
Oh, okay.
it becomes very believable the more you interact with them. Their mannerisms are always, like, off a little bit. And although most of them pretend not to speak common, they clearly have the accented language, of foreigners.
Get something that looks foreign and we can
Only
travel to the
Irithil
world
has
/dimension.
no accent at all. It seems like she speaks perfect common. Her mannerisms are accustomed to the Klovisa continent itself. It looks like she's been here much longer than some of the other members of her crew.
At some
Corlene's
point-
gonna bed down at least 30 feet away from the helm, remembering her promise to the pirate.
I lay on the deck like a dead horse
Just in the way.
and just stare at the stars, thinking of trying to remember all the things Ozark and I did together that last week.
What about the sun? Would you settle for the sun as morning becomes day?
Sounds like
Damn it.
Uh,
At some point, I will walk up to the captain
mhm.
and I will say that when we arrive at the city, will you be able to leave at a moment's notice when we return?
The captain is different from a shipmaster, and I assume
I
you understand
apologize.
that.
I'm
Do you want to go talk with
That's just-
Irithil
shut
itself?
Irithil, yes.
Okay, you go up to the deck, the bridge, as it were, the command bunker, as they like to call it, because that's basically what it is. It is a single standing structure built on top of a deck with only one way into a separate compartment that doesn't even go to the rest of the ship. This command bunker is incredible, Thatch. You walk in, there are 2 guards at the gate. They hold great weapons. They're in magical splint mail. All not yada yada yada. But the consoles are crazy. Normally, you fly blind. And by fly blind, I mean you don't even see the outside world. You're just going off charts, sensors, auguries, stuff like that. And if you can see, there's it's a small window, like most cockpits of normal planes are. Because if you have a big window and then you get attacked, you now have a massive vulnerability.
Sure.
These people don't have any windows, are flying blind, supposedly, but as soon as you step in, you see everything around the ship. It is nearly 360 degrees, including below, which most people don't even notice, as like the floor itself seems to be paneled in a way that is just showing off every direction of this air vessel. And it seems to have some sort of magical tracking capability because it zooms and enhances at the pilots who are sitting in just chairs at the controls, just looking at everything and moving around their screens. And it is like you stepping from like this period onto a truly alien ship from outer space. This is some crazy tech.
I think I'll probably stand there and be shocked for at least a few moments before I will ask for Irithil.
Irithil is on a chair above who is currently acting as captain. You can tell he's acting as captain because he is speaking with everyone. When when one of the unmasked crew like says something there and like tilts their head back, they look to him, not Irithil. And he instead looks to Irithil than anybody else. So she is clearly giving the orders that he is then translating to the rest of the crew to get her will done. And as you say, you know, I need to speak with the shipmaster. Irithil will just turn and say, "Ah, Thatch, you come to my bridge. Hello."
It's very impressive, Irithil.
Yes.
Beyond imagining.
I see you are familiar with airships. The others that I have ferried for your king are not as familiar with concepts such as the ones that I show to you now.
Rorzor is my home. We have many airships in the city, but none as impressive as this, as I look around. When we arrive in the city, will you be ready to leave at a moment's notice? I expect we will be in there and out of there quicker than maybe we would have expected.
We will have our own objectives, but we can leave quickly. Yes.
Okay. To these objectives, I would not... Let me rephrase. I would not think to ask what your objectives are. That would be foolhardy and rude in the bridge of your own ship. But do they have a time dependency? Should we expect to be in the city for a certain amount of time?
Not to my knowledge.
Wonderful. Then, when we arrive, we will let you know about when we expect to return. We probably will move around more in the evening because of our dear Sever and his current condition.
Oh, that's perfect then. We plan to do a night as operation as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I beg your leave.
Yes, you are dismissed.
Thank you. And I exit. And then wander my way back down to the hold.
You fucking spray. They're gonna ram the ship!
I will gather everybody around and say, well, first of all, I've learned a few things, and I'll make sure that there's not any crew members immediately around us, if I can.
Of course.
Learned a few things. First of all...
Oh, she plans on stealing shit from the temples, doesn't she?
Yeah, first of all, this ship is truly impressive, and way beyond the capabilities of anything I've ever seen. Second of all, they are extremely happy to be headed to the city of Blinding Lights for probably the same reason that we are. They're going to cause some shit, they're probably going to steal something, they're probably going to destroy something, but they will also be wanting to make the same quick exit that we are. So as long as we are not dilly-dallying around the city, I think we should be good. Also, I don't think we should fuck with these people, because I'm pretty sure they will A, leave us high and dry, or B, eject us out the side of the fucking airship the moment we leave the city. So do not...
For 3 days and nights, yeah. 100%.
Fucking with the Ulathanes has always been something they have told us not to do.
Right. So,
you know,
let's
there are
be
different
respectful.
people with different customs, you know.
Better technology, they're a foreign ally. We already fucked over plenty of allies.
True. Alright. John has calculated the plan. or not the plan, the path in which they will take, it will take them a total of 22 hours to get to the City of Blinding Lights.
What?
Rather,
Shit.
yes. Wait, did I say 22? I meant 27 and a half. Excuse me, John doesn't know how to do math.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were
Well, in
thinking
that
this would
case-
be a week.
Well, in that case, John.
Yeah, 5 hours. So they will be able to make it to the city by less than noon tomorrow. They want to do a night shenanigan, I suppose, as well. So you guys will kind of just like hang out in the hold, see some sights if you want to stick your head out. So, you will go through a sleep cycle of just hanging out kind of in the hold. But during the day after your initial, getting off point, you will see some people arming up, and like more people are on the deck and going through the hallways. More Ulathans armed in what appears to be magical splint mail, busting out giant swords and crossbows that are as big as they are, and look to be like, getting ready for a battle. What about you guys? What are you doing during this time?
Sorry, John. This is when we're approaching the city.
This is the next day, so you don't even see the city yet. You guys still think like, oh yeah, we're like 4 or 5 days away. Like, no big
Okay.
deal. And like, these guys are just quietly arming themselves and getting ready for combat. And, Sever's chilling, but like someone enters the hold to like take a crate with like 4 other people who are all armed and armored. So everyone's kind of quickly alerted to the fact that like something's going down.
Assault time.
Can we get some Lamau boots on our team?
Yeah.
Would they let us? Do they have any?
What?
Oh,
Green
well,
magnetism?
yes. They look at Paradigm kind of awkwardly and say, as you, bring it up, like, he's going to have to, like, go on his own disc, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just so you know.
Green
fuck
support to magnetism.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cool. Just helps.
Yeah. And as, they continue to arm themselves, and maybe it's just like a weapons drill, Thatch. This happens sometimes on it, like the anti-border. And then you're like, this is a frigate. There should be like 30 people at most to like guard hallways and act as anti-borders. There's like 170 people who are clearly combat passengers and not crew members
Wonderful.
at all.
Guys, this is good for us.
Yeah, Thatch is looking at this and he's like, you know what? We were looking for a distraction.
This is
Yeah,
very
but
good for
distraction.
us.
And it
So
is
basically, no scouting, just go.
that
Right,
afternoon
that would be
Beeline
the
it.
case.
when Irithyll summons everyone but Sever because she has been told not to summon a guy who burns up in the fucking sun. And the only way to get to her command deck is to literally cross the deck and like get there. So sorry.
It's fine.
You guys are summoned, all 5 of you, except for Sever, of course, including Antois, of course. And Irithyll shows you a map I guess doesn't so much show you as there is a map of the City of Blinding Lights currently in front of her, as John takes us to a new map. And she says, so, you guys are, doing your own objective, but maybe it's time now that we share some information so that we don't have any overlap. And, combat's funny, and most of my people can't tell you guys apart, so if something were to happen, why don't we just know where you're going so that, I will tell you where we're going. Hopefully we won't. We'll see each other on the other side. How about that? That's the term. That's a phrase.
How far are we from the city right now, John?
You have no idea.
You
Okay.
ask. If you're interested
Irithyll,
in
how
that.
far are we from the city?
She stares at you for a moment. So where are you guys planning to hit?
We're planning to go after their reliquaries.
Which one exactly?
Guys, which one do we want to
We wanted the
Bard
book,
go
right?
for?
The Church
Yeah,
of
the
Light.
book.
Yeah,
That's the
book.
Church of Lunar Light.
The Church of Lunar Light.
Ah,
are
okay.
pr-
Good.
Primary objective.
There's not going to be any overlap at all then. So, she points to her map and pings a building. This is their church. It is about 8 or so miles away from their southernmost bridge, as well as their airship tower. It's a
Wonderful.
southern building. We don't care about them. They're clowns. Go right ahead. We are going to go to that good old cult north of them and say some choice things to their Grand Chancellor. So don't go there.
And where is that exactly?
Just, a few miles north on the
A few
same
miles
hill.
north?
Yeah, like 2. Just, stay out of the north. We'll come pick you up. We're going to do a silent drop north of the city. Well, probably not north. South of the city. We're going to try to avoid the airships, so we'll probably land somewhere over here. Do you have a specific drop-off point you wish to... Are you just going to go straight over? Helo jump it? You guys planning to feather fall, like, star formation, holding hands all the way down?
I guess, yeah.
Would
This
it
is
be
a much more quick thing than we thought it would be.
Would
Yeah.
it be better to land and move through the city so we at least see what we're hitting before we go in there?
If we just land on top,
You
of
want
it, we
to
could break through the
survey
ceiling.
it? Why? Isn't this just a, run and gun for you guys?
I guess it could be.
Maybe it's an old soldier talking, but information is always more important than speed, in my opinion.
Well,
but
when you
have-
have an army of paladins barreling down your dick, things
In fact,
change.
we have my map. We can find the best escape routes.
Look,
can
they
find
have
where the
they have
expensive
fine
shit is.
steed, man. You can't outrun a horse unless you're in the air. She points to Paradigm. Can you outrun him? Okay. Are we silent?
Right.
What's happening?
Alright, so the plan is to airdrop and feather fall in directly to the building.
I guess.
You're just gonna storm it?
not?
I don't know.
Alright, you said that your plan is to land somewhere over here.
We're not
And
gonna
move in
land the
with
ship.
your-
We're gonna deploy people there, and they're gonna walk across the bridge and go straight over there.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do something once they're in position.
Fair enough. What if we deploy here and walk in on our own, as opposed to going in at full bore? It would seem that it would disrupt your operation if we land and cause a ruckus.
No, it won't. Yeah, we could do that. We could, go around, pop there, U-turn, drop our own dudes. Well, we'll probably, just circle around, she says. Kind of forebodingly.
Menacingly.
Okay, well,
Sever, you're from this city. Will we be able to walk in from the southern area without being stopped?
He's
or...
not here.
Sever
Oh,
is
that's right.
not
He's
there.
not here.
There's just bridges.
they don't have
It's not like they
walls,
have
right?
gatehouses or walls,
What are they
No
gonna do, ask us who
anti-air
we are?
batteries either, which is also a good thing. No.
All right.
Well, if they start laying waste to the city, we could just grab everything.
Oh no, we
Are
would
you
never
gonna lay
do
waste
Be
to
something.
the city?
distracted.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Though it is good
Where-
to know that most of their civilian population's no longer in the borders of the town. So we make it a little reckless, but not like.
They're just paladins.
We're not gonna
that are crazy
unload
and
on
worship
them.
dumb things.
Yeah,
This is true.
kind of.
Where are we meeting to exit the city?
You guys have communicators. We can come pick you up.
Like in the middle of the city, pick us up.
If if that's what it takes, we'll be around there, so it'll be okay if you guys want to do that.
Come in hot then. All right.
Oh yeah, well, sure. Coming in hot, not leaving. Okay.
Your confidence is soothing.
I think I've insinuated enough of our plans. We're going to go ram our airship into their building as soon as our people are in position, dear Thatch. So, if you finish your duty and complete your mission before then, that'll be great. And now is when you all suddenly realize why the tyrant was so hesitant about letting Irithyll take you here.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, why change a plan that's worked before?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They won't expect it a second time.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Try and fight back?
That's the hope.
Wonderful. This is good for us. If you drop us off before you make your run, then we can go in, we can make our hit. They will probably figure out that it's you that did this, but they won't know anything about us.
Plus, it'll be at night. The foul ones will be, going around, causing havoc like they normally do. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be great. Look forward to it.
Might be able to hit the other vaults, too.
Curiosity. The commune of the Viridian Glade. Where is their building?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. I don't have a bone to pick with them.
Because they're cool. Why would you have a bone to pick with them?
Thatch, when we get there, all I do is I pull out the map, we ask it where reliquaries are, and we know the locations of 2.
Wait, that's something you can do?
Yes. I have a map that shows me...
Oh! You want to come with us?
I mean... maybe.
Prude covers his face. Why don't you come with us?
But my friends need me also.
We would be lost without Paradigm. He's vital to
Can't
me.
do it without him.
Okay.
Here's what we can do. If we're above this, can they see your ship from the outside? I don't know how this weird bullshit works. But if we're at the city limits, this map shows me 50-mile radiuses. I can tell you where all their defensive structures are. I can tell you where their most valuable areas in the city are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Let's reconnoiter. I love that word. She says. And within 2 hours, she will summon you back to the bridge to do just that, as you guys fly 10,000 feet above the city itself, within the clouds. They can't see your map, though, so you have your map out on their map, and you were like, I need some kind of check.
No. I was gonna, I have their maps out right there. I'm going to, I'm assuming they can, change the picture. Is this a hologram?
It's not a hologram, no.
Oh, is it just like a physical map?
It is a physical map, yeah.
Oh, well then I'll just pull out my map next to that map and I'll ask it.
But your map
Show me
constantly
where-
changes, right? It slightly shifts
Yeah.
and is kind of centered on you.
Yeah, I know. But if I tell it to show me fucking, what is this city? Not like a 50-mile radius, right? It's not that big.
This city?
Yeah.
It's much bigger. This is to scale.
Okay, so it's yeah, whatever. It's fine. I can make do. I'm just gonna ask it where
Everyone moves
the
their
most
arrows
valuable
around.
the most valuable points in the city are.
Oh, dude. If we're over the middle of the city, it's less than 15 miles to every edge.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I'll just ask it where the most valuable raiding locations are in the city.
Okay.
And
You
then-
will do that real quickly.
As they pop up, I'll just mark them on their map.
Alright. Here's one. Not a target that you guys know of. Here's another one. Not the airship tower. Here's one. And here's one.
That one looks like a commune.
you guys will immediately notice that all of your targets are not where you thought they'd be. And with that, we're going to go on a small break. And by break, I mean we will see you guys next week on the 18th. Unfortunately, Revik won't be able to make that one, but we'll have Antoine back. So, you know, same members. And then the week after that, we will not be playing because I'm going to go to a wedding in fucking Colorado. Their bachelor party is apparently happening right outside my door. And I'm really glad my microphone did not pick up them slamming the drums down that's out there. Because about to flip my shit, guys. So, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope this implication changes things in your strategy while you guys, well, strategize over the week. We will see you guys all on Monday with the raid team's continuation as they go to meet a grandpa. Terrifying implications await. Anything you guys like to say before we head on out?
I'm so glad we brought Irithil.
God.
I'm so
It sounds
happy.
like it'd be so much more fun.
I knew it was gonna happen.
It's always
really,
a party with Irithil.
I really want to go with her.
I
Because
know
when you
do,
whip
but if you go
together,
with her, they'll
you'll live
steal
forever.
our shit.
What if we all go with her and we just raid all of the locations?
Then she takes it all,
Gives
and we
her
get
army.
nothing.
Hey, John,
Well, no,
What's
that's
up?
Aaron wants certain things. We just give him the things he wants, and they
I'm
keep
not,
whatever.
I'm not gonna be here next week. Is Earthil compatible with Revit to become a vampire spawn?
Oh my god.
You eye her up and down, roll 1d100.
Sure. One sec.
He's gonna attack her.
31.
Uh-huh.
No, she is 49.
Damn it.
Not within a 10 degree. Close! Very close. Yeah. Well, guys, we'll be seeing you all next week. Hopefully, that balloon will survive another 7 days. And
You're not gonna see it next week. I'm gonna be at my parents' house.
oh shit, rip. Rest in peace, balloon. Well, guys, see you later. Woo!